to play the 63rd edition between Edmonton and Calgary. How close has this been, by the way? Calgary leads the Labor Day Series 31-30-1. It is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. We'll get you there soon.
Jake Maier, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been great. He's been okay. But when you're getting that franchise tag quarterback, you're expected to be consistently good. We need Jake to be consistently good for them to win.
All kinds of pressures happening in Edmonton right now, looking in the basement, looking up, trying to take it 1 week at a time. McLeod Bethel Thompson is saddled with the opportunity to try to even his record in the Labor Day Classic from 1-2 to 2-2.
Hey, Reggie's gone nuts the last 3 weeks. He had 20 grabs for almost 300 yards. He's that big body guy, and him and Jake definitely have rapport.
From one receiver to the next, and Eugene, the dancing machine, would love to show off some moves on Labor Day Monday. A TD against his former team a week ago, looking to make another appearance here today. And you know what, for these Elks, the big question is, who is going to be under center? We know on the depth chart it's going to be MBT, but Trey Ford right behind them there. And Chance, it just seems like one of these opportunities that Trey Ford's sitting there. It's Labor Day Monday. It's a huge game. And if Trey's ready to go, we might just see the Canadian today.
Well, I think Macbeth is going to start the game, and I guess the question is going to be how short is the leash, or what is the thought process with Jarius Jackson, his offense? Maddie, our resident quarterback, what do you think their thought process is, or maybe what should it be?
I don't know. I mean, they could have a big surprise for us on hand, you know, and roll the young kid out there. And I think that would be a big surprise for a lot of people, because at the end of the day, this kid can flat out make some plays, and they need some punch in their offense, particularly on Labor Day, where they haven't had a lot of success down there at McMahon Stadium. So McLeod Bethel Thompson can sling it all over the yard, but it's the extra juice that Trey Ford brings to the table, and it's felt throughout not just the offense, but the entire football team. And so I think we might be in for a surprise, is what I'm feeling right now. If he's healthy enough to dress, he's healthy enough to play.
Well, I guess the question is, how healthy is he? Because I'm thinking if he was totally healthy, he would be anointed the starter. But I'm thinking, yes, he may be healthy enough to play, but they want to see if they can maybe give him another week. If McLeod Bethel Thompson can get it done, and maybe if he's not getting it done, maybe they say, okay, we got to put him in there now. But I'm thinking if he was totally healthy, if they felt he was healthy enough, he'd be starting.
All right, let's go to the other side of the ball now. The Calgary Stampeders, as I said when we were at halftime, I feel like we haven't seen these guys play in forever. We haven't seen them since August the 15th, and they didn't really want to go into that bye. Well, maybe they needed it from a health perspective, but after you've lost 2 straight games, I mean, you just want to get back at it. They've had this long break, but with the West the way it currently is, Milt, how bad do they need this
They
game
need
tonight?
this. They need this one, and it all falls on Jake Maier. You know, and I won't say he's been a disappointment, but he hasn't lived up to what a lot of people, especially in Calgary, were expecting of him. When they got rid of Bo Levi Mitchell, they said, this is our guy. You are our guy. We're going to put everything on your shoulders. And there's some games where he looks like he can handle it, and other games where it's like he can't. So consistency is the key to being greatness, and we just haven't seen that out of him. But he still gets an opportunity, and if they can win today, they're right back in the mix of things.
He's driving Dave crazy, too.
You know it.
I watching Dave on the sidelines. I'm a believer. I remember talking to Dave, I guess it had been 2 years ago, for a game. It was a preseason game, and talking to Dave about Jake and the things he was telling me and how much that he liked Jake and the intangibles that he saw in Jake. And I think he still probably believes in some of those things. He just liked it to be a little more consistent. It's got to be difficult, as a Hall of Fame quarterback, to see a guy like Jake who has the talent, but is not necessarily consistent. I look at this game, one thing I see, and it's clear, and I'll be honest, there's more talent on that Edmonton roster, a lot more talent than I see on the Calgary roster. In order for Calgary to win this game today, they're going to have to do the same thing that Hamilton did, because I think Toronto's more talented than Hamilton as well. Right. Hamilton came out, they used the energy, they out-physicaled them, and that's the key. And that's what these Stamps are going to have to do.
Davis, I love the conversation about Dave Dickinson and Jake Mayer and the relationship they have, because to get off a guy that we just saw play and Bo Levi Mitchell and say, no, I'm going to make a change here in the middle of the season on the road and go to Jake. He's vested in that young man. He's put a lot of time in him, and it has been some frustrating moments. But it's also been some good moments because when he locks in, you can see why he got off of Bo, because he is as good as anybody when he locks in. And today's a good day to pick a day to lock in, and he has that ability. But, man, I go back to Trey Ford being in uniform. You don't mess around with a situation like that. If MBT falters, then he goes right out there, and you got to go to him. And he better be healthy, because I think regardless of whether MBT's on point, it's hard to keep that kid on the sidelines based on what we see he does for that football team. So anything can happen today. At the end of the day, I know Reggie Bakerton's happy to get back on the football field because he was on fire prior to the break. 20 receptions for almost 300 yards in 3 games. And Reggie is the bell cow for Jake Mayer.
Can I ask this one? Are we all in agreement that if we thought that Trey was completely healthy, all 3 of us would start Trey?
Yes, if he was completely healthy, without a doubt.
I agree. I don't think Trey's 100% healthy.
I don't think so either.
If he was, I think if he's healthy, he'd be started. Yeah.
But if you're healthy enough to dress, you're healthy enough to play.
That's the way I see it.
Isn't that what you say on the panel every single week?
I do.
I don't think it's not that black and white. But I hear what you're saying. There's gray. There's a little bit of gray there.
No,
I'm thinking they're saying he's healthy enough, but maybe we want to give him another week. But if we need to play him, we'll put him in.
I agree.
Completely agree. All right, let's go to Farhan Lalji, who's standing by with Javon Leake.
Javon, you've taken part in the Battle of Ontario. Now you get a chance to do the Alberta version here on Labor Day. How excited are you for this one?
Man, it's the Battle of Alberta. We got fans out here, so it's going to be a good one. I can't wait to get started.
What about the overall vibe around this team? You guys have won a few games in the last month, played great against Montreal. Just how different is it right now?
We're turning in the right direction. Just using this motivation, this momentum, just keep going and try to get these 2 wins from Calgary.
And for you personally, just coming off the injury, just how you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to go. Back healthy. I needed that week, so I'm feeling good.
Thanks for this.
Appreciate it, man. Let's do it.
Oh, it's so sad it has to come to an end. The final game of the Labor Day weekend. It is the Elks. It is the Stampeders coming up on TSN. No surprise, plenty of sportsmanship before this one. Jarius Jackson having a lot of success so far as a head coach, but coming off that 21-17 road loss to Montreal last week. Meanwhile, for Calgary, as mentioned, they haven't played since August the 15th. They're coming off that bye. They've got 2 straight losses, but Dave Dickinson, 6-1 as a head coach in the Labor Day Classic game. It is time now to take a look at the 5 most popular Anytime TV picks at FanDuel. Each of the top 3 choices will suit up for the Elks with the Crew Cup. Eugene Lewis and Hergy Mayala, the most popular TD picks. Calgary's Reggie Begelton and Peyton Logan rounding out the 5 most bet TD props over at FanDuel. Time now for the experts pick. We start with the biggest expert of them all, Davis Sanchez.
Yeah, I went with Dakota. Nothing else jumped out to me. I like Dakota Prukop. I'm a little nervous though, because if Trey's the backup and he somehow is a short yardage guy, I'm completely hooped. but I'm going to stick with it. I believe Dakota will still be the shortest yardage guy.
Yeah, and I'm kind of going off the board against what I typically do and going all in on the big number payouts. And I'm going with Tevin Jones. His highest payout I could actually justify seeing catching a rock from McLeod Bethel-Thompson. So Tevin Jones is on my anytime touchdown lookout, Milt.
Yeah, I'm going to Reggie Bagleton. And Chaz, you mentioned how hot he's been in his last 3 games, averaging, like 98 yards a game. But the one thing he hasn't been able to do is what? Snag a touchdown. But he's going to get one this game. 100 yards and maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns.
You know what? We've been so successful this season, though. Like, I feel like, especially this weekend, I feel like all of these are going to hit. And normally I'm always just riding Chez's bet. And honestly, I was going to go with Dakota Brew Cup as well. But when I saw that, but then short yardage, you're like, I don't know. So then I took a look at what FanDuel wanted. I like Ricky Allen in this game, too. I mean,
Oh, that's a good one.
well, and then I looked at the FanDuel odds as well, and he's been playing well. So we'll see who steps up. But I was with you on the Brew Cup. I didn't know.
You almost talked me into switching my
I mean, I think you should. I think you should. Now
I'm not wavering.
anyway,
I'm not
Chaz.
wavering. I'm not wavering.
So to recap, Chezzy is on the most popular anytime TD pick in Brew Cup. Maddie and Milt also on a pair of Elks, although both of their picks are longer than 2-to-1 odds. I'm the only one going with someone from the Stamps. Our anytime challenge TD picks officially locked in. Here is our Farhanology with Reggie Bagleton.
It's Labor Day. You're wearing black. You guys have won a lot of these. How excited are you for it?
We're too excited. It's easy to get excited when you know what's at stake here. But yeah, we're gonna bring it.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about what's at stake. You got 1 point up on them in the standings, but you've also got the game in hand. You got a chance to get some distance between you if you can do this. Does that add to it?
It does. It does. We're chasing the West, not just Edmonton, but it is one game at a time, and our focus is this game right here.
What about the bye and how much that's a bit of a longer bye than usual?
It is. It is. I really didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it is what it is. We attack adversity as it comes, and we're gonna handle it.
Thanks for this, Reggie.
Thank you.
Well, now I want to change my pick to Reggie Bagleton. Am I allowed to do something like that?
Too late.
Do it, Kate.
Too late.
All
Too
right,
late.
we'll get to McMahon. But the first meeting between the Stamps and the Elks, it is the Battle of Alberta coming up next. Let's get you to McMahon Stadium for the final game of Labor Day weekend between the Stampeders and the Elks. Before kickoff, a special tribute to 2 men who meant so much to the city of Calgary.
Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot First Nation tribes of Siksika, the Piikani, the Gena, the Stoney Nakoda First Nation tribes of Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. This territory is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Regions 5 and 6. As an organization, Calgary Sports and Entertainment is proud to continue our commitment to learn from and partner with our Indigenous communities.
Last week, the Stampeders were devastated to learn of the passing of former Calgary Flame Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. Johnny was selected by the Flames in the 2011 NHL entry draft and was an instant star when he arrived in Calgary, where he would go on to play parts of 9 seasons with the Flames. Johnny Hockey quickly became one of the most beloved players in franchise history through his talent on the ice, as well as his vibrant personality and charitable efforts off the ice. He played the game with great joy, which was felt by everybody that watched him. Johnny came to Calgary as a young man and in many ways grew up here, not only as a superstar on the ice, but as a cherished member of our community. He had a profound impact on our organization, our city, and the entire hockey world. We've tragically lost 2 loving husbands, sons, fathers, brothers, and friends. Our heartfelt sympathies go out to the Gaudreau family in this time of profound sadness. We now ask you please rise if you're able, remove your hats, and join us as we observe 13 seconds of silence in memory of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Thank you. Today, the Calgary Stampeders are proud to welcome and salute the men and women of our Canadian Armed Forces. Joining us this afternoon are over 250 members of the Canadian Armed Forces and their families. Please welcome today's ceremonial flag party from His Majesty's Canadian ship Tecumseh. Carrying the Canadian flag are members of the Royal Canadian Navy and Canadian Army. Following today's national anthem, there will be a fly past of 2 CF-18 Hornets from 4-Wing Cold Lake. And now, please remain standing and join the singing voice of your Calgary Stampeders, Justine Tyrell, in the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome to the 58th edition of the Labor Day Classic. Here are the officials for today's contest.
A beautiful afternoon in Calgary sets the stage for a fitting finish to a fabulous Labor Day weekend in the CFL. It's the Battle of Alberta with 2 huge points on the line. Edmonton has won 3 of their last 4 to get themselves back in this race. 2-game slide for Calgary, and they'll be looking at one of their defensive leaders to step up today.
Well, the Edmonton Elks have rushed the ball for almost 750 yards in the last 4 games. Calgary's middle linebacker, Micah Alway, is one of the best run stoppers in the league. And he's well aware of the Elks running game. So rock, meet, hard place. Speaking of rocks, Edmonton's middle linebacker Niles Morgan leads the league and is on pace for 120 defensive tackles. It's Calgary, it's Edmonton, it's Labor Day. Buckle up. It's going to be physical.
What a way to wrap up this week. Cannot wait to kick things off here. Calgary, as we mentioned, dropped 2 in a row. Edmonton 3-1 in the month of August to essentially save their season. Stampeders have owned this day, winning 10 of the last 11. Edmonton finally getting one back in 2021. Calgary won the toss, deferred. Edmonton will start the game with the ball, and we are underway at McMahon. First return of the ball game, just shy of the 25, and the physicality starts early.
This is what Labor Day is. It's another notch. You move it up. It's like a playoff game. Labor Day physicality. You'll see it immediately. Opening kickoff. It's not just a hit. It's a straight takedown.
Nice way to start the game. Bailey Devine Scott sets the tone just 10 seconds in. Edmonton will start on their own 25. And they'll start it on the ground. Why not? Very effective running the ball as of late. Leak with the carry. Let's take a look at MBT getting the start today.
Thrown for over 2,000 yards, completed just shy of 70% of his passes, 14 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 1-8, but one of the wins more recently, both Trey Ford and McLeod Bethel-Thompson are dressed for this game. Trey Ford is healthy enough to play, but they'd love to give him one more week and hope that McLeod Bethel-Thompson can get the win.
Edmonton coming off a very tight game against Montreal last week. McLeod Bethel-Thompson to throw for the first time today, far side. Gino Lewis trying to keep his feet in. Quick discussion amongst the officials, and they say he did.
Be a good matchup here to see Eugene Lewis against Demario Houston. Get to those starting lineups in just a second, but that's right out there with a little toe tap from Gino Lewis, and tap that toe inbounds. Nice catch.
Exactly what he needed to do. Over 500 yards on the season for 87. Back on the ground again, right up the middle. Decent push ahead. That's Leak. Healthy for this Edmonton offense.
Offensive line has played together now for 5 straight games. One of the reasons they've been so successful running the football. More on that as the game unfolds, and go back and see Javon Leak, who missed their last game due to injury against Montreal. He's fresh, healthy, and ready to start in that backfield. 3 different running backs all dressed here for the Edmonton Elks in this one this evening. And as I mentioned off the top, 750 yards in the last 4 games.
All 3 of their running backs dressed have a 100-yard game in their last 4 games. Doesn't matter who's in. There's an incomplete pass. Looking for Dylan Mitchell, working against Roberson. And it'll be a punting situation for MBT in the Edmonton offense.
Calgary won the toss and deferred to the second half. Edmonton got the ball first, and that's when you do that, you want to get that lead going in at halftime. We'll see how Jake Mayer looks as he gets his chance coming up.
Jake Julian set to kick it away, leads the league with an average of 53.1 yards per punt. Lets this one fly just outside his own 30. That's over the head and through the end zone as Peyton Logan just watches on, and Edmonton on the board first here with the single.
Jake Mayer has completed 72% of his passes this year. Touchdown to interception ratio 14-7. He's 2-1 on Labor Day, so has a winning record in this game. He's completed 70% of his passes in those 3 Labor Day starts.
Over 300 yards in last year's Labor Day victory. Calgary came away on top 35-31. They'll start on their 40 after the single. They'll hand it off to get things started. Kylan Hill trying to bounce outside, but he's pushed back for a loss on the first play of the ball game for Calgary.
Up front on the offensive line for the Calgary Stampeders, Bryce Bell was a last-second scratch, so Kyle Saxelid will play at left guard for him. And the veteran in this receiving corps is Reggie Bagleton. You heard the guys talk about it in the pregame show. If I were going to pick that first score or anytime score, it might be Reggie here in this one.
We'll leave that up to the panel. Reggie has some catch in 62 straight games. Watch for him to be involved heavily today. 2nd and 13 for Jake Mayer. 2nd in the league in passing yards coming into this game. Deep shot down the field. Incomplete. Oh my. Michel steps in. It looked like Hyman was going to have it.
Ishmael Hyman is the wide receiver, and Markin Michel the inside slot back receiver. You see they start at the line of scrimmage together, and they're both running go routes. A little hook and go from Markin Michel and a straight go route, but they both think they're the primary, and they're going after the football, and it's a friendly fire that causes the incompletion.
A fortunate bounce for the Edmonton defense, as both of those guys might have had a shot at taking it the entire way. Neither of them could have hauled it in. Dylan Mitchell far side, cuts it up. There's a flag just inside the 25 as he takes it all the way back out to midfield. But a flag sits around the 23. We'll sort it out when we return. Battle of Alberta to wrap up Labor Day weekend. Settle in. It's going to be a great Monday.
During the return.
Welcome back to Calgary. Holding penalty against Edmonton on the return. They're going to start on their 10, which means more room to run for these guys, I guess.
What's most impressive to me is that average 6.6 for both Rankin and Leak, and Kevin Brown's a little bit below that, but in his last start against Montreal, he was 6.6 average. So all three getting it done.
Leak is in there right now to the next of his quarterback, Bethel-Thompson. NBT down the field looking for Giddens, goes up and gets it. Oh boy, a beauty early on here for Giddens, and he's feeling that one.
We had to lay out to get it. It was on that inside shoulder, so he went down awkwardly. See that corner route from inside, and that's just a tremendous catch. What great concentration. Coverage was there by Kobe Williams.
Wow.
But you can see how he just, his ribs exposed, and that's what hit the ground first.
He is up, and he is running off. So
positive knocked out of him a little bit, yeah.
Maybe you just want to think about how sweet that catch was.
Yeah,
a little bit longer.
Give us an extra second to show one more replay.
Yeah, if I lay down here, they're probably going to run a slow-mo. Mission accomplished, Mr. Giddens. 1st and 10, up to the Edmonton 41. On the ground, straight ahead, short pickup. That time it's Kevin Brown up to the 45.
Well, Mike Rose of the front four said this week the #1 priority for this defense is to stop the run of the Edmonton Elks, and that means Micah Alway is going to play a huge part. 41 defensive tackles on the season, and Alway is a thumper, a run stopper. And then back in the secondary, Demario Houston versus Gino Lewis. Let's watch that and have a little fun this evening.
Houston, 4 interceptions on the season. Bethel-Thompson gets it away near side, and that'll be enough for a first down as he gunned that one in there to Gavin Cobb for his 4th catch of the season.
Yeah, Gavin Cobb, little bang route going in and then back to the outside, and that's why there was a little hesitation there from McLeod Bethel-Thompson until he saw him get back to that sideline, and then he's a timing thrower. And as Matt Dunnigan, our quarterback, said before the game, McLeod Bethel-Thompson can sling it all over the yard. There's no question about that. He's an outstanding passer of the football.
Cobb into the game for Giddens, who's on the sideline for now. He'll run it again. Midfield and more for Brown. Good pickup on that first down scamper.
There's Alway getting involved. You know, when you look at the matchup and the three-headed monster that is the run game for the Edmonton Elks versus this Calgary defense as a whole on team defense, they're last in the league against the run. That's why Mike Rose was talking about it this week. I'm sure they've emphasized it big time all week long, and through the bye, because Calgary had that extended bye. If we're going to beat Edmonton, we've got to stop that run.
Darius Jackson, 3-3 since taking over as the interim head coach for this club. 2nd and 4. Will they stay on the ground? They do. It's Brown straight ahead, and he's got enough.
Kevin Brown on the carry.
It's like another first down.
So Mike Rose, Josiah Coatney, James Vaughter, Julian Hauser, the group up front. It's not just them, though. They've got to take and be gap responsible. That means take the gaps in front of you, the gaps you're assigned to, A gap, B gap, and outside is C gap. Take those gaps and make sure you're sound in them, and let Micah Alway scrape to the football so he doesn't get blocked by one of those big guys up front.
Fresh set of downs from the Calgary 48s. Bethel Thompson down the field, wide open. He's got Mitchell, cuts it back inside the 30, or it's Lewis rather, on the near side of the field this time. And Gino has his second catch of the game, takes it down just shy of the 25.
Well, first of all, when you're going to line the line of scrimmage like that, that means that play action will be available. Plus, you know, the Edmonton Elks offensively, they know that Calgary's been scouting their run game. So play action is the next step. That's the progression. Go ahead and sell everybody on the run to try and stop it. We'll go play action and hit Gino Lewis in behind.
Lewis already with 32 yards in the first quarter here. Back on the ground to Leak. Leak picks his way ahead for about 2 or 3 yards. Second down coming up.
You know, and they all bring a little bit different, something a little bit different to the table. I mean, Javon Leak has got that breakaway speed, so you give him a little crease, and he is flagged on. We've seen how fast he can hit the hole. Kevin Brown is that hard-running, hard-to-bring down, low center of gravity type back, and Justin Rank's a little bit of both.
Yeah, he's a hybrid.
Yeah, yeah.
2nd and 7, a good crowd, and McMahon tries to crank it up a bit here. MBT in trouble on the run, throws it away as he's taken down, and that will bring up 3rd down. An intentional grounding flag, I believe, thrown at the end of it as he was backpedaling. He threw that ball short of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, without a receiver in the area, that's the issue. If there's a receiver in the area on a throwaway behind the line of scrimmage, throw it at his feet, you can get away with that, but the ball has to go across the line of scrimmage if you're throwing it away without a receiver being around. We'll take another look. The line of scrimmage up there at the 25.
Intentional grounding.
There you go.
Edmonton, number 10. The ball will be placed on the 42-yard line, and it will be 3rd down.
Well, Bethel Thompson a little bit slow getting up there at the end of that. Of course, he was gathering up part of his playbook and things like that.
Yeah. So this moves him all the way back to the 42. So 3rd and 25. And they will kick it away instead of attempting the 49-yard field goal from Faithful, who is in at the kicker position today for Boris Beatty.
I wonder if it was Boris Beatty, although he has struggled and been inconsistent this year. If it was Beatty, they'd go field goal here. He has the big leg. Looking for a little more consistency from Dean Faithful.
I was watching Faithful in
Time
warm-ups.
count violation. Edmonton, number 9. 5-yard penalty.
Well,
it remains 3rd down.
Now it's a no-brainer. Now you are kicking it.
I was watching Faithful in warm-ups going this direction, and there's some wind that would be at his back right now. And he was hitting from about 52, and the ball was carrying to the back of the end zone. So looked like he had the leg earlier, but early in a ball game, I try to drop this one in tight in the field position battle. 3rd, and from here to Red Deer. This is up. That's going to be dropped in there now, and it'll fly out of bounds.
He walks. Just before the 20. Well, wait a second.
What's going on here? Because he stopped at the 19. Now he's throwing
Illegal punt out of bounds. Edmonton, number 7. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, 4 yards past the...
4 yards past the line. 1-0. Edmonton leads on Labor Day. Well, here's a look at a new face for the Labor Day battle between Calgary and Edmonton. Kylan Hill. Nice resume coming out of college. First team all SEC in 2019.
Yeah, Packers 7th round pick in 21, and the guy who's in game 2, start number 1 for Hill against Ottawa, which seems like a long time ago that they played.
17 days. Here's Mayer on the run out to his right, puts it over the middle, and they got a first down. And it's Reggie Begelton, 63 games in a row.
Good way to get this started. Go to your veteran and Reggie Begelton to get this drive going. Hill got 9 carries versus Ottawa, 38 yards, about a 4.2 yard average.
Hill standing there to the right of his quarterback. They give it to him, and he pushes his way through that first level. Takes it out beyond the 45 against his Edmonton defense.
First level has Noah Curtis up there. He's got 5 sacks. That leads his team. The second level has the #1 tackler in the Canadian Football League in Niles Morgan. He leads the league coming into this week with 73 defensive tackles. And in the secondary, Cordell Jackson is very quietly and slowly becoming a leader in that group. He leads his team in knockdowns and interceptions with 3.
Nick Anderson playing alongside Morgan, tied for second in the league in tackles with 64 himself. Mayer down the field, laid out there, intercepted just inside the 30. Bouncing back up is Bynum, and he'll be tracked down from behind. Now a flag after the interception has been thrown on the field. We'll sort that out when we return. Devondre Bynum has his second interception of the season as he takes it away from Jake Mayer.
Here's your matchup. This is Hyman, there's Bynum, and this is the one-on-one matchup between the two. And I'm not sure if Ishmael Hyman saw this football or was trying to find it and couldn't find it. Really didn't react back to the ball, and Bynum just sat underneath it. I think that was the reaction from Jake Mayer. He looked and said, hey, did you not see that one? I threw it right down the sideline to you.
Hyman was then flagged for illegal participation after going out of bounds. So this drive will start on the 43. McLeod Bethel-Thompson immediately. Deep shot down the field, and he misses Dylan Mitchell by more than a little bit.
Incomplete intended for number 17, Dylan Mitchell.
Well, they've been willing to throw this ball down the field so far.
Well, Mitchell is running a straight go route, and that where it was thrown was to the outside, right out by that sideline. I think that McLeod Bethel-Thompson was looking for more of a fade to get closer to the rail there than Mitchell ran. Just a communication error between the two.
That'll leave Edmonton in a 2nd and 10. Best crowd of the year here in Calgary. NBT into no man's land there. Looked like Leak might have gone the wrong way that time, and that'll be 3rd and 10. So after the turnover, it's a quick 2 and out, and Calgary will avoid any damage.
Yeah, there was a receiver over in the area, so it won't be another intentional grounding, but McLeod Bethel-Thompson just looked. There's Javon Leak, and he thought he was running a different route.
This kick is skied, bounces at the 3, and then through the end zone. So a couple of singles has Edmonton on top, 2-0. 17 days off. Is there a worry about the Stampeders being rusty? Bar Hannibal, more on that when we return. Here's a conversation between the head coach and the quarterback following that interception. Jake, all smiles for now, but more on the offense. Let's send it down to Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, that conversation continued on the bench with the rest of the offensive skill players. Dickinson was not happy. He says guys were making simple mistakes. He talked about that interception where 2 guys were in the wrong spot. We saw earlier where a deep pass eventually fell incomplete because 2 receivers ran into one another. And this was a concern for Dickinson. He said, look, we look fresh and healthy coming off the bye week, but I'm concerned about our details. He said the practice week was up and down. He really believed that there was just too much time off. This team's been off for really 2.5 weeks, so they do believe it'll get better as the game goes, but that was a concern coming into this game. Rest, definitely, but certainly some rust here in the first quarter.
How about as a player, Suits? 17 days between games.
A little bit long. Yeah, especially coming off a loss. And you have to live with that for that long period of time. And you're looking at the big plays offensively. Big play in the passing game is anything over 30 yards. Jake Maier has 11 on the season, but 5 were in their last 2 games. So he was getting that connection and the chemistry, and that long break may have been an issue.
We'll start this one on the ground to Hill, trying to find some space and eventually drilled back, but did pick up 3 or 4 yards on that initial push.
It'd be interesting to see just what kind of a tailback Hill is. It looks like he's certainly got that second effort, and he knows, as most tailbacks do, that you never want to go down with first contact. Take 2 or 3 Edmonton Elks to get him there.
No surprise, it was Morgan that started it. Anderson finished it off with Purifoy sort of mixed in. 2nd and 6. Just 1 pass completion for Maier so far in the game. Looking for another here, and he's got it. And that'll be a first down. Taken up to midfield as he goes back to Ishmael Hyman.
Well, the former quarterback and head coach of the Stamps is going to like that one, because the timing was there. It's a quick slant, and the pass was there. The accuracy was there, and it looked like a well-executed offensive play into that soft spot in the zone over there in the Edmonton defense.
4-1 at home are the Calgary Stampeders. Their 1 loss was in that game prior to the bye, so as Suits mentioned, had to sit on it for a couple of weeks. Hill, a little stumble, regains his footing and gets a couple of yards on first down. Here's the split right now on what we're seeing from Calgary. 4-1 at home, 0-5 on the road.
Yeah, I think down here is one of the big reasons for it. We always talk about turnovers, the turnover ratio, and how important that is. But yeah, they've been much better at home and have been very good on this particular game at home of late.
110 of the last 11 overall in this Labor Day battle. 2nd and 7 here. 2 options to the left, 3 out to the right, down the field. And lunging out to get a hand on it is Bynum, as Maier looked for Philpott for the first time today.
Philpott's got the great target to catch ratio, which will take a little bit of a hit after that incompletion, but see Jake Maier saying that was on me. This was a throw. He's been targeted 39 times, Philpott. Caught 31 of them. That's a nice defensive play, cutting underneath that from Bynum. That's a couple of plays for him now early in this game.
Interception, and now that one as well for the rookie corner. Cobb takes it just inside the 10. 44-yard kick, spun off a tackle and forced out right at about the 15 with 53 seconds on the clock. MBT 4 of 7 for 70 yards here in the first quarter. Here's a look at Dave Dickinson. Not a bad record. 6-1 all-time in Labor Day Classics. 14-4 against Edmonton in his head coaching career. So he's had the number of the Elks.
And how about this? 336 games in Calgary for Dave Dickinson. Player, assistant coach, and head coach. And there's Darius Jackson, 3-3 this season after taking over for Chris Jones.
Hand it off. Trying to kick it out is Leak. Near side tackle made at the 20, and a nice burst there. Ross was able to corral him.
Nice example of the stiff arm from Javon Leak. Just the old-fashioned hold off the tackler with that offhand. A little stiff arm there, gets outside of Cameron Judge.
Second and 4 for Edmonton from their own 20. Quick pass this time. That was up close to the 25. Looks like it'll be a first down, and it is. Tevin Jones, who has burst onto the scene in impressive fashion in Edmonton. And that'll do it for the first quarter of action in the Labor Day Classic. Edmonton on top in a physical affair. They lead on the road here in Calgary 2-0, and they'll have the ball when we return for second quarter action. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter coming up here in Calgary. Edmonton leading. Classic low-scoring affair here. 2-0 over Calgary. Suits, what stands out?
Well, what stands out is that both defenses have done a nice job scouting each other, scouting the offenses. And you look at the run game for the Elks, as we talked about in the first quarter, has been so strong throughout the last 4 or 5 games. And right now, Calgary knew that too. They emphasized it all week and through the bye, and just 29 yards rushing for the Elks in the first quarter.
Pretty much an even split sort of between Brown and Leak so far. Leak's got 4 carries for 15 yards. Brown's got 3 for 14 yards. Haven't seen Rankin just yet. He'll be involved with special teams a little bit, I believe. They'll get it to Mitchell, and Mitchell takes it ahead for an Edmonton first down. A guy you can work in here and there in the running attack.
Well, I like the play call, really like the play call, because it's attacking the perimeter, and with all focus on Javon Leak, there's the play action to Leak. That holds basically the front 7, and you try to get one of your fast receivers out on the edge in space with a little fly sweep action.
Roberson is down on the field. Not for long, though.
Well, the training staff's out there, so he's going to have to go off for at least 3 plays.
Maybe a little bit of a limp there. You can see as he's trying to shake it off.
7 interceptions for the Calgary corners. Demario Houston has 4. Trey Roberson with 3 so far this year.
Fake it to him. NBT from the pocket, down the field, drops it in there, and it's held on to once again by Giddens. Had a big one earlier, and he's got another one here.
Great accuracy from McLeod Bethel-Thompson, and Giddens is going to sell this. Sell it by not showing. There he is there, coming out of the slot position, and he's selling it by not showing Kobe Williams that the ball's about to arrive. He's running down that field, turns his head back, and then the hands come up now as the ball's about to get there. Usually the DB in that kind of trail position is looking straight at the hands. As soon as they go up, he tries to punch through. But they went up so late in that process, couldn't get there.
65 yards on 2 catches. Now Leak spinning out of trouble. Will eventually track him down, but what an effort from Javon Leak to put them in a second and manageable down at the 35.
Yeah, it really does. And the Calgary defense, as we mentioned in the first quarter, was containing that run, but Leak got a nice spin move here. They did that fly sweep that can help loosen things up for the Edmonton Elks. They want to take advantage of a slow start for Calgary's offense because they do look out of sync, and Edmonton hasn't been able to take real advantage of it just yet. They got great field position now to maybe get started in that regard.
You got to put something on the board if the opposition maybe a little slow getting going. From the Stamp 35, Leak again, and he's going to be stopped well short of the first down, maybe a yard on the play.
Well, it looks like right now Jerry's Jackson is going kind of series to series. Kevin Brown gets a series, Javon Leak gets a series. But I would suggest that maybe an idea is on second and short, second and 2 or 3, maybe Kevin Brown is more suited for that interior run, and Javon Leak on first down but I know you don't want to be switching back and forth too often.
Dean Faithful for the first time this year, 78.6% last year, which is better than the 74% that has Beatty sidelined right now. Faithful, a 41-yard attempt here. That is up, and that is good. And Edmonton tacks on 3 more for a 5-0 lead. Reggie Begelton has one of the 2 catches made by the Calgary receivers so far in this game. They'll try to jumpstart the offense when we return to Big Man. Well, when an offense is struggling a little bit, is it too easy to say, just get it to this guy?
Well, of late, look at the numbers of late. Target to catch ratio outstanding, almost 300 yards in the last 3 games. So, yeah, I think to kickstart the offense, Jake Mayer go to 84 and get that USS fishing boat going. He loves his fishing.
He does like to fish. Hill trying to stretch this out, won't happen. Back to the line of scrimmage. No further.
This is the Edmonton Elk defense just stringing this right out to the sideline. There's no hole here. You see Niles Morgan plugging that one. They're going outside. He hands them off to his partner Nick Anderson on the outside, and the 2 linebackers just say, we're taking away all of the gaps.
Hill has 8 yards on 5 carries, so they cannot get anything going on the ground. Maybe through the air is where it happens. 2nd and 11. Mayer looks far side. Now has a man. It's his running back with some room to run. He'll take it outside the 50 midfield and eventually runs into Moncrief, who takes him down. Best play of the ball game for the Calgary offense.
Yeah, Hill in Mississippi, he could catch the ball out of the backfield. His college days, he was a big-time receiver out of the backfield at that tailback spot. In fact, had 67 catches in his time in Mississippi, which really makes him suit our game very well.
15 catches in a single game in college. Jake Mayer just doubled his production on that last pass, 25 yards. He's up to 50, 1st and 10 from the Edmonton 46. Empty backfield here as he throws far side, and that is held onto by Barnes with Bynum in his back pocket.
Good job by Barnes to block out Bynum, because that's a dangerous inside throw there for Jake Mayer. Bynum already has one in this game, and he closes quickly there, but Barnes protects the ball.
6 yards to Barnes on his first catch of the game.
Changing the play.
Calgary works it home from the Edmonton 40. Mayer gets it away. As Hyman trying to escape, and he does. Takes it down to the 10. Still on his feet. There's a flag back at the 45. And Edmonton saying this is going the other way.
Illegal block, ends to the face. Calgary number 68, 10-yard penalty. Will replay 2nd down.
Let's take a look at it. That's Eric Smith at left tackle, and he's got his hands up in the face right there of Daniel Joseph. There's no question that one is going to get called. That not only was it hand in the face, but it jacked his head back. Well, none of those are very rarely intentional, but get the hands up too high, a little undisciplined with where the hands need to be, and takes a big play off the board.
Huge play off the board. Now they're back on their own 50. Would have been a 33-yard pickup the other way. 2nd and 14. Here with time down the field, too much. Falls incomplete over the head of Barnes.
Boy, it really looked like there was early movement there, and no flag on the play.
Paredes is coming out. He will have the wind at his back, but this will be a deep shot. His season long is 52. This one's going to be 57. His career long is 53. This one will be 4 yards back of that. So a 57-yard attempt for Paredes.
Big deep breath. Lock in. Little wind at his back.
Does have the wind. Pretty strong wind. Looking down.
Moving those flags a little bit.
At that end, yeah. Cody Grace to hold. Paredes, for the first time in his career, looking to hit one from 57. That is up, and it is good. Nails it. A deep shot on Labor Day from Paredes, and Calgary's on the board. Had a little breathing room on this one, I think. Paredes, no mistake, crushes it. Calgary on the board. CFL on TSN will be back on Friday as the Lions take on the Alouettes. That's a big one. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN.
Big game for Nathan Rourke in Victoria. And thank you to everyone for their hospitality out there in Victoria on the West Coast. That was quite the event.
Turns out Victoria is a pretty nice place.
It's not bad. Good seafood there, too.
Didn't have any.
Come on. I got to get you on seafood.
Edmonton will start from their own 40. Bethel Thompson wide open, has a man. That'll be a first down as he gets it to Dylan Mitchell.
Dylan Mitchell, this is a timing route. He's going to do the curl here, and the timing route for Mitchell, straight down, run this curl. This is what McLeod Bethel Thompson is great at. Those intermediate throws on time, right between the 1 and the 7.
Edmonton at their own 51.
First catch of the game for Mitchell. Had that rushing attempt earlier on the sweep. Edmonton will work from their own 51. On the ground, up the middle. Brown back in the game as they flip-flop Brown and Leak. There's a flag on the far side of the field. Quick discussion here with Andre Pruz calling the shots for us today.
Well, that Calgary front 7 on that play was geared up to stop the run, and Brown still got 3 or 4.
Illegal procedure. Illegal procedure. No end. 69 did not check in prior to the snap. This is a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Still some pointing among the players down on the field. I think the Elks are arguing the call now that they heard it. Command center is taking a look at this to make sure the correct call is being made here. I believe we'll get a correction here.
After review by the command center, we had 87 who was covering number 67. Therefore, there is no infraction for procedure. It will be second down.
Round of boos from the crowd here at McMahon.
So basically, never mind.
Pretty much.
Never mind. Nothing to see here. Let's move on.
Everything was lined up properly. Ended up being a 3-yard pickup for Brown, who remains in the game. And running back for Edmonton, Gino Lewis. To the top of your screen, working against Demario Houston. MBT looks that way down the field. Gino, he's got him. Lewis will take it inside the 30. Pressure coming from behind. Stays on his feet and then is upended just shy of the 20. Have yourself a half. Gino Lewis.
Well, this is Gino Lewis and the throw from McLeod Bethel Thompson that is going to be his bread and butter again because it's a timing throw. He's got Cameron Judge underneath him. but he catches that ball because it's thrown on time just as he clears Judge into the middle. Good accuracy and a chance for the Edmonton Elks to take advantage of the slow start offensively by Calgary.
66 yards on 3 catches for Gino, team leading 3 catches. Edmonton will work from the Calgary 22. Haven't found the end zone yet today. Over the middle, defended well, and broken up by Kobe Williams, working against Gittens.
Gittens has a couple against him. Gittens has been working on Kobe Williams, has 2 nice catches in this game already, and Kobe Williams says, okay, enough is enough. I got to get involved here. Steps up, good timing, left hand around without pulling that right hand or pulling the jersey and turning the receiver. It's a nice knockdown by Kobe Williams. 2-1. Gittens versus Williams.
Keeping track. Big play here, 2nd and 10. Calgary's defense, they're going to bring some pressure. MBT feels it, gets it away, just not enough. Fell short of Gino Lewis. He was hit as he threw a bunch of pressure in his face, and he couldn't get that one far enough down the field.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a game of inches. You've heard that many times. It's also a game of split seconds, because that's sometimes the difference between a big play or a sack or incomplete pass. There was the pressure off the edge that got home just in time to affect the accuracy of the throw, because Gino Lewis is in behind coverage and ready to go score.
The Edmonton offense stalls again. Faithful 1 for 1 from 41 yards. This one from 29, and that is up, and he misses it. Hammers it wide to the left. And Edmonton's kicking woes continue. Take the single. They lead in Calgary. Well, Niles Morgan was 2nd in the league in tackles last year. This year, he leads the league for more in the middle linebacker of Edmonton. I send it down to Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, Morgan is also the only member of the Elks current roster that has won a game on Labor Day here in Calgary. And that was back in 2021, so it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but certainly there's been a lot of turnover in Edmonton. He remembers in that game, he had a big one. He had a sack. I think he had about 8 or 9 tackles in that game. He says, this game brings out the best in everybody, but it's been far too long since we have won here. As for Calgary, there's Adam Konar. He is 0-6 in Labor Day games with 2 stints in Edmonton. While he left Edmonton for BC, the Elks actually won 2 games at that time. He doesn't believe he's a bad luck charm. Hopes the home team can continue its winning ways here.
Sack here as Mayer had nowhere to go. Elliott Brown comes out of it celebrating. Morgan was involved as well.
Well, again, overall, Calgary has the edge by 1 game in the Labor Day matchup, 31-30-1.
How crazy is that, right?
I know, that close. The edge in the rematch, look at that. Big Mayer trying to, a little basketball looking for an outlet pass.
Oakman and Elliott Brown both got to him. 2nd and 14. Mayer has a man wide open at the 40, trying to turn it up the field. A heavy blow from Hyman against Anderson. But they'll be stopped a couple of yards short.
This we are used to seeing on Labor Day weekend. Now, we've seen a lot of it. There's been a lot of it throughout history on this game. But the team that stays most disciplined often wins. So don't be the retaliation guy in this area, because that gets you a penalty and that puts your team in a hole.
Big 3rd and 2 here. Calgary's offense stays on the field from their own 48. Mayer in the shotgun, needing a couple of yards. Trying to draw Edmonton offside. Nothing just yet.
He's trying to draw him. Now, they were in the neutral zone, and Sean McEwen didn't see it, because if he snapped it right at that time.
Calgary number 12, 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
It almost worked, yeah. Yeah, you can jump back as long as the ball's not snapped, and that's, I'm sure, what Coach Dickinson will mention to his center as he comes off.
Gavin Cobb and Purifoy will go back to field this kick. Cody Grace set to let it fly. Kicks it in the direction of Purifoy. Takes it just inside the 20. And nowhere to go. 48-yard kick.
And pushing and shoving, and again, Labor Day, let's look at some of the Labor Days of old and all the mayhem that happens in this game in the Battle of Alberta. They just go at each other. It's physical. That's why we open the show up with the linebackers, because it's that little extra second. You say you want to play to the echo of the whistle. Well, they play till well after the whistle has gone by.
The official getting up there.
Saw Jeff Garcia in there, Doug Flutie in there.
The awesome
Ricky Ray.
Athleticism of Ricky Ray going over the table. There's Javon Leake with the carry. Nice pickup on first down.
Those are pretty big names, though, in the quarterback room.
Just a few?
You know, Jeff Garcia, Flutie, Ray. Boy, there's been some great battles. And next week in the rematch in Edmonton, expect the same. I mean, just some great moments in history on this weekend. Nice crowd here in Calgary. Excellent tailgate going on. And before I get any more tweets, Hamilton tailgate is awesome, too.
You know what? I'll just say it. Any tailgate is awesome.
That's true.
The one here is large. Large tailgate, both sides of the stadium. But it's good. Let's crank it up a notch. I challenge everybody. Get out to a tailgate experience at a CFL stadium near you.
There you go.
Go enjoy yourself. We can't. We have to work those days. It's tough. We're inside 3 minutes here on Labor Day in Calgary.
Who is that out there?
St. Cyr, I think. Is that St. Cyr? No.
Can't see the number.
Long way to go here in the first half. 2:57 on the clock. McLeod Bethel-Thompson from the pocket. Gino Lewis has it. There's a flag on the far side as Gino picks up the first down.
Lewis, tackle by number 6, Demario Houston. There's a flag down.
Lewis having an excellent first half here on Labor Day.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson went down hard. See who this penalty is. Sure if it was late.
Illegal contact on the receiver. Calgary number 0. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, if that was Curly Gittens out there, that's 3-1 in that matchup. But I was watching McLeod Bethel-Thompson go down there, and the timing on that hit looked fine. Say the illegal contact here. It is Gittens. That's way past the 5 yards. I don't know there's enough there for a penalty, but okay.
3 to the left, 3 to the right. Finds Jones over the middle. Breaks the tackle, and here goes Tevin Jones. Down to the 40 and tripped up at the 35. Demario Houston stopped that one from being even more.
Blitz coming here from the Calgary defense, and when they send this kind of pressure, that's Cameron Judge to the right that's coming up and trying to hide in the line of scrimmage. But that quick pressure that McLeod Bethel-Thompson knows, he can't block all those guys, so he's got to hit the hot route. That was Tevin Jones on the crosser, and Houston may have just saved a touchdown.
32 yards for Tevin Jones there. First down is lopsided for Edmonton. Haven't been able to find the end zone just yet. Near side, that's Gittens. Has some room, has a first down. And Edmonton is marching here late in the first half.
Curly Gittens is McLeod Bethel-Thompson's favorite target. Of course, work with him in Toronto. We've talked about it many times, but Gittens leads the team in targets, touchdowns, and second down conversion catches. Just great chemistry between 10 and 19. And they're working that in this first half.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson over 200 yards passing here in the first half. 6 points on the board. Looking to extend the lead late. They'll get it to Gittens. Looking for a block, tripped up on the play by Dozier, with positive yardage and a manageable second down.
Got a different looking formation, extra lineman in there to help with the blocking, and he gets out with the kick out. That was David Foucault, who lined up off the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be leading it around the edge. He gets on to Michael Alway, I believe, and then Dozier, as you mentioned, just gets his arm on it.
Second and 3, 4 options, now 5. Far side of the field. MBT finds one of them. It's Mayala. And he will step out of bounds at the 10.
Wow, it's just the Elks absolutely have to have a major here just so they can go in at halftime and say, okay, you know, we put a bunch of yards on the board. See Mayala out to the flat, but finishing this drive with a major, huge for their psyche. I mean, they've really dominated the first half. They've had the time of possession edge. 205 more net yards of offense for Edmonton than Calgary in this first half, but not a lot of points to show for it, as you just mentioned. So this will be good for their mental health going in.
7 offensive linemen in the game for Edmonton. We're going to move MBT to the left, throws it to the end zone. No! Wide open was Giddens, and he couldn't find him.
Just enough pressure again from the Calgary defense. You don't see McLeod Bethel-Thompson roll that often, but this time he gets outside, and it looked like it was a Cameron Judge that came off the end, or Dozier, who came up, got in his face, and just affected what was Alway, who just affected that throw enough. Talking just out of the reach of Giddens.
Second and 10. Can they find the end zone here? Far side. Got it. Gino Lewis. Touchdown, Edmonton. Come on, boy. MBT to Lewis. His 4th of the season.
Brought Rankin in the game to help with protection and tried to get the one-on-one on the outside. The Calgary defense drops into a zone, but it becomes a man when the receiver gets in your area, and it's DeMario Houston against Gino Lewis.
Give me the rock, man.
As that evolved into a man, the great route and that timing throw again. This time they connect.
You heard Gino say, just give me the rock, man. 5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Extra point is through, and Edmonton leads.
Show you the route here by Gino Lewis against DeMario Houston. There's Lewis. Houston is at the top corner of your screen here. And Houston is going to be, stop it there, guys. Take a look where Houston's eyes are. Houston's eyes are back into the quarterback. He's let his guy get way too far, way too wide. That little outside release from Gino Lewis. He just turns to the outside, right beside the sideline, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson hits him.
15th passing touchdown of the season for Bethel-Thompson. 8 plays, 84 yards in less than 3 minutes. And Edmonton finally has something to show.
Oh, you saw it. I mean, that's what I mentioned. I mean, this to have that kind of edge offensively and net yards, time of possession, and all of it, and have 6 points on the board, that's going to mess with you at halftime. But that you could see the celebration from Bethel-Thompson after that throw and that touchdown. Like, whew, okay, taking advantage of having the edge in the first half.
Calgary will get the ball back here, so more than a minute to work. They will have the wind at their back. Their kicker's already hit one from 57, career high in this game. Faithful hammers it away, a low driving kick taken by Logan, just outside the 5. Logan takes it back out to the 34. that is where Jake Mayer, who's just 5 of 9 for 68 yards, will get the ball with 66 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
After the last drive by Edmonton, by the way, not a lot of run game in there.
No.
So after that first quarter, when they had, what, 26 yards rushing, I think, the Elks, Calgary was ready for it out of the gate. They've kind of evolved into throwing.
They've got 57 yards on the ground.
Yeah. No, they haven't abandoned it, but that's something we've seen in the past.
On the ground here for Hill, and he's got a first down. He had been held to just 8 yards on his first 5 carries. So that's a big one and a nice drive starter.
Yeah, there's lots of time on the board for Jake Mayer to at least get into field goal range here and trying to get a little bit back, but it's a good way to start. Little draw up the middle.
Mayer working from his own 47. Back to Hill. Dumps it off to his running back, a burst ahead. And this time 2 yards shy of picking up another first down, but certainly creeping into Paredes field goal range.
Don't you love when a tailback decides, I'm just going to lower my pad level and go in and try to break through this wedge tackle here. 2 guys, one on the outside, Bynum. They're going to meet in the middle. Him and Niles Morgan. He just decides, I'm going through it.
Mayer needs 2. Has time. Down the field. One-on-one. Hold in. Far side. Pendleton.
There's a fishing trip.
Flag in midfield.
Flag in the backfield.
Illegal contact on receiver. Edmonton number 25. That penalty's declined. First down.
Outside route. Got through the illegal contact and wins the jump ball. Fishing trip coming up. Here we go. Big mouth pass to the left of your corner.
Mayer dumps it out to Logan. He's dangerous in open field space. Takes it down just inside the 15 as Calgary looks for a response here. 14 seconds on the clock.
So time for one play, maybe one shot at the end zone, but then they got to be careful, make sure they come away with points here. But a little swing pass, got out in space. The only problem with that play is it took some time off the clock.
Watching on. Didn't go out of bounds. Stop that clock at 14. 2nd and 6 for Jake Mayer. Dumps it back to Hill again out in the flat. Broke a tackle, takes it down inside the 10 with 7 seconds on the clock, and he's got a first down for Calgary.
This is a tough one for Dave Dickinson and Jake Mayer now because you got the first down. That's okay, but he's only got 7 seconds. Yeah.
Calgary.
So Calgary's going to call their timeout and basically look for a play in that play card that Dave Dickinson has that only takes a couple seconds. So that's either got to be like the quick fade where the ball's out of Jake's hands quickly. Can't check it down like that again because that'll take too much time and they may not get a chance if they can't get it in across that last 5 yards. But a quick slant, something that happens immediately, little rub play.
Jake Mayer is 4 for 4 on this drive. Has 7 seconds left to finish it. First and goal from the Edmonton 6. Mayer backpedaling. Can't get rid of it. Throws into open space and the clock stops at 2 seconds.
He knew exactly where it was. He took a shot. He wanted to look for an inside route. He was coming over here. He was looking in that direction initially. A couple receivers over there. Thought he had it there, but a little too tight on the coverage and knew that if he didn't get rid of it right then, they were going to lose a chance at a field goal.
Well, Paredes hit one from 57 earlier, so I like his chances for a chip shot here from just 13. And Calgary will get 3 points back before the end of the half. Edmonton leads 13-6. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 14 of 20 for 230 yards and a touchdown in that first half. Big touchdown to Geno Lewis, who has had himself an excellent first half. 5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, after the first quarter, when Calgary did a nice job against their run game, then McLeod Bethel-Thompson started to go to that timing pass game. Couple deep shots. Curly Gittins had a big first half. That chemistry very evident again. And he gets it to Geno Lewis a couple of times.
MBT is standing by with Farhan Walji.
McLeod, offensively, you guys dominated that first half, but the red zone was tough. So how important was that last drive?
I mean, it was huge to get points on the board, but it's really just, it's about this next quarter, right? We struggled all year in the third quarter, so we got to come out with some juice. We're moving the ball, but you got to finish. So just love playing with these guys. Take it one play at a time. It's a beautiful Labor Day, so got to be grateful.
230 yards passing for you, 6 different receivers, but you found something with Geno. Just talk a bit about that connection.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that many. I missed a couple, so it should be more than that. Missed D-Mitch on a beautiful press route there in the first half. So Geno's awesome. I mean, he's unbelievable. Catch radius is crazy. That's why he's dominating this league for so many years. So it's good to get on the same page with him and see him smile.
Thanks for this.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Happy Labor Day.
Kate, Elks looking for a win on Labor Day. Finally, let's see if they can do it in the second half here.
We're winning. I don't care what else. We're just up right now. We got another second half to play, Farhan.
Poor Farhan. All right, from Calgary all the way back to here at Hamilton, alongside Davis Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Stiegel, and a great first half for the Elks in that one, especially for MBT.
Yep.
And we were discussing pregame, would we see Trey Ford in this game?
Yep.
He is dressed. He's the second QB. But I'll tell you this, the way MBT's playing with 230 yards in the first half, but he's right. I mean, they've got to come out and do something in the third as well, where they have struggled this season.
Yeah, without a doubt. But this first half has been a good first half, and there were some questions about if Trey Ford is dressed, why isn't he playing? Well, it's obvious he's not healthy enough to start, but if they need to play him, I guess they would put him in. But if McLeod Bethel-Thompson is playing like this, they don't need to put him in. And this is the luxury of having a Grey Cup winning quarterback. You know he can step in and make some plays. That's exactly what he's done. He's had a great first half. He's allowed this offense to flow through him. All these receivers are being fed, and he mentioned it. They should have even more opportunities, more points on the board, if not for a couple of bad throws. But this is good for these Elks because this allows their number one quarterback, and let's be obvious, we know Trey Ford is their guy. This allows that Trey Ford to get more rest, to come back and be totally healthy because you don't want to have to put him out there if he's not totally healthy. So good on McLeod Bethel-Thompson. But he mentioned something that was very important. They got to come out in this third quarter and play better because so far this season, they've stunk it up in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you that Trey's the guy from what we've seen in the last few weeks. I also think, though, a part of me thinks when I look at that receiving core, as good as they are, Geno and Gittins and Dylan Mitchell, and then even the two backs, you almost need and want to have a drop-back guy to deliver. This offense, 28.5 points a game. That's leading the CFL. Anyway, they're both good. Like you
quarterback
said,
controversy.
It's a luxury. Right here. No, I ain't doing it. Right here, this is some sort of read defense. It's a zone defense. DeMario Houston is reading that slot receiver. If any of those slots runs an out route, he's coming off that. This allows him to jump a route, maybe try to steal a pick. DeMario's got good ball skills, but right now he's just playing a little too far inside and a little too far off Geno Lewis. Milt was screaming and yelling, "Get up on him! It's too far off in the red zone." Agree, but that's a call where you want to read the outside breaking route and try to steal you a pick.
Easy pickings, that's all day, every day. Well, two veterans like that just feasting on it, and that's just too easy. You got to tighten up there. A team that I thought played really well, a portion of the Edmonton Elks defense, and I look at the middle of that defense, and they're spectacular. I'll put Moncrief, Morgan, and Anderson and Purefoy in the back end with anybody in the Canadian Football League, and they're making it tough on Jake Mayer and company. And it's no surprise that they only scored 6 points there in the first half, and they got a lot of those yards that Jake Mayer threw for, 125 yards in the first 30 minutes on the last drive. Bagleton came up with a big catch, and they got in field goal range, and then they shut him down. But I think it starts right in that middle with most defenses, and obviously you got to give praise to the big boys up front. Oakman's been a great fit since coming over and getting picked up. Curtis, you got Taylor and Brown, a couple of young defensive ends that kind of remind me of a young number 5 from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And to me, that's high praise when you start comparing a couple of young defensive ends to some of the best in the league. And I think Edmonton's playing some inspired defense, and they need to, in that McMahon Stadium, because they haven't won there in a while.
No, they haven't. And you know what, too? This is courtesy of our coworker, Franklin. How good does that stadium look now?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I mean, all the stadiums across the league in Labor Day this weekend have been amazing, from Victoria to Regina, today in Hamilton, then we got Calgary. You know what? We're going to show you some Labor Day highlights.
Season.
What a Labor Day weekend it was. It kicked off with the Red Blacks taking on the Lions Saturday. Touchdown Pacific. Second quarter action. Lines up 18. Nathan Rourke going to find Aiden Eberhardt for one of his 3 touchdowns on the day. Rourke also finishing with 325 yards through the air. His first CFL win since the 2022 West semifinal. And the Lions take it 38-12. The final. Blue Bombers, Riders, Sunday dying seconds. Bombers up by 2. But the Riders recover the onside kick, so Saskatchewan still with a chance. Setting up Brett Lawther field goal. Can he walk it off? It's 60 yards out. It has the accuracy, but not the distance. What a game. Bombers win their 4th straight, 35-33. Argonauts, Tiger Cats earlier today from right here in Hamilton, late in the first. Tiger Cats ball, Bo Levi Mitchell going to find Tim White, who had 180 receiving yards, 2 TDs. Mitchell now 7-0 on Labor Day in his career, and the Tiger Cats get an absolutely massive win. They snap a 4-game slide, and it's weird now that there's no one behind us, because this place was just rocking a few hours ago. And now it is time for the panel's favorite moments. Milt, Labor Day, what did you like?
You know what? Spending time in Victoria.
I thought you were going to say spending time with us.
I was spending time with you guys. Going out to dinner, you know the best thing about it? I didn't have to pay. You guys paid for it.
Davis paid for the entire thing.
That's the best thing ever, baby. You know,
Maddie, what did you like?
Well, it's going to Victoria, chatting up the mayor of Victoria, Marianne Alto. I talked to her for like 3 hours on Friday night, and it was just spectacular conversation. Shutting down Big Bad John's in Victoria too. That was a good one. Some of the guys. We kind of let our hair down early in the week, which you typically do, and then later on in the week you lock it in. And that time out there in Victoria was heaven sent. Yeah.
3 hours from Maryland, we're never getting touchdown.
Marianne Alto.
3 hours, we're never getting touchdown Pacific again. She had talked.
Come on, Marianne.
You know what? I thought it was the excitement at the end of the Riders game. That onside kick recovery with Lawther almost nailing that. That was pretty exciting. And then also, Milt, getting to fly home with you.
My goodness.
Late on a red eye. We watched a movie together. There was only one blanket, so we kind of cuddled a bit, and I thought that was nice. I think we bonded a bit.
I thought Milt pretended to sleep the entire time so he didn't have to talk to you.
I had my head on his chest.
See, you know what? For all the joking, look how close this panel is. You know what? It was just the bonding experience this weekend. It really was. Love you guys. This is great.
What about you, Kate?
Oh, honestly, the entire weekend. Where do I start? Oh, we're going to commercial. I'm not allowed to say it. Elks up 13-6.
One more half to go on OK Tire Labor Day weekend. The Calgary Stampeders trailing Edmonton 13-6. Jake Mayer stands by with Farhan Lalji.
Jake, 142 yards of offense and just 6 first downs in that first half. What do you need to do to get the offense going?
Yeah, I think we've had a couple explosive plays that just we didn't connect on or got called back, or we can make every excuse in the book. But if we just start taking care of those things, we get some more explosive plays, and I think we have 2 more scoring drives there in that first half. So if we just do that better, and then obviously just run the ball better, be more efficient on first down in the pass game, be more accurate in those critical situations, we'll be fine.
You're still only a score away. Dave talked about the fact that maybe there was some rust given how long this layoff was. Was that part of what happened in the first half?
No, not at all. Not at all. There's no rust. We're in week whatever it is. We should be as sharp as any team in this league, regardless of time of rest. So, no, that's not going to be a crutch for us tonight, and we just play better in the second half. We should win this game.
Thanks for this, Jake.
All right, man. Thanks.
Not going to use it as a crutch.
Yeah, good.
But is it a thing?
Well, I thought it was early. When 2 receivers run into each other on a deep ball that was very catchable, you wonder a little bit about just timing and things like that. But great answer from Jake Mayer. No, we're not going to use that as a crutch. We're fine. And it's a 1-score game.
Edmonton is just 3-3 when they lead at the half. Calgary has trailed at the half 5 times this year and have not come back to win any of those games. So that being said, it's only a 7-point ball game, and they haven't really got going offensively just yet. Faithful will get us started here as we get set to take you through the final 2 quarters of the Labor Day weekend, and that is up and away. It's going to hang up there. Short kick taken at the 30, and now brought to the near side of the field by Logan. Got around one man, not the second, as he's tracked down and taken down by Zach Mathis.
Want to stay mentally strong, and that's what Jake Maier was doing in that interview. It's basically saying, look, we're not going to use this timing thing and the bye week, the long bye week, as an excuse, but these are some of the miscues from the first half. Just misthrow there. This is an interception that Hyman didn't really look like he thought he was a primary. Discussions on the sideline, getting some timing down. I think it was obvious that there was some timing issues, although, again, good that Jake didn't use that as an excuse.
Maier gets this one away quickly. Timing is getting the first down. The tackle was eventually made by Darius Bratton, but they'll move the chains early against an Edmonton team that has been outscored 50-0 in their last 5 third quarters.
Well, you heard McLeod Bethel-Thompson at halftime with Farhan say that we got to get ready for the third quarter. We have not been very good in the third.
They've been awful in the third quarter. Jake Maier didn't like what he saw. Switches things up. 5-man pressure from Edmonton. Maier stays in there. Hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. Oakman came barreling in there and popped him.
So, game of adjustments, and Jarius Jackson is going to make some, and he's just like every coach at halftime, but this has been the quarter that has been their Achilles heel, and the games that they have lost. It's a -51 in point differential in this quarter alone. Like, yikes. You almost want to break even. It's kind of like when you're sitting at a blackjack table and it's not going well. Just let me break even once.
I still want to win all the money. Double down. Maier over the middle. Out towards the Edmonton 50. Fishing. Bagleton's got it again.
The USS Bagleton goes fishing again and comes up with it. Bagleton coming out of that backfield. Or excuse me, out of that slot position. Good deep waggle. Getting a good run at it like he's going deep, pushing those defenders back, get them out of their chair, and going fishing. Yeah. Oh, got it. That's a salmon off the West Coast.
Reeled in another one.
There he is. That's why he leads the league in tackles coming in. That's why he's leading the league.
Shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, I've talked many times about linebackers scraping to the hole. That's just shooting to the hole.
4th tackle of the game for Morgan. No surprise. He leads his team in that category. A loss of 4. 2nd and 14 from midfield for the Stampeders. There on the run to his right. Who can he find? Nobody just yet. Now he drops one over too short in front of his running back, Hill. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and Cody Grace will come out to punt it away.
Very, very dangerous throw there for Jake Maier. It is for any quarterback. It is if you're hot. If you're not, doesn't matter. Rolling all the way to your right, and the guy that was probably closest was Nick Anderson. He was closing quickly there. You see him cutting back and seeing that? It's a dangerous one. Got away with it.
That ends a streak of 7 straight completions for Jake Maier. From the 45, Grace hangs this one up there. Cobb waits, now takes just inside his own 10. Pushes it back for a return of about 10. Geno Lewis, 87 yards for 87 in the first half, and a touchdown as well.
Welcome back to McMahon. Gino Lewis leads his team in yards receiving and had a big first half. And it was a matchup against Demario Houston, which I mentioned off the top as one to watch here in this game. And so far, it's been 87. 87 yards, 6 targets, 5 catches for Gino Lewis. He has a touchdown as well, all on Demario Houston. Now, don't fall asleep on Demario Houston, though.
Well, he can take one away.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be looking. Edmonton starts it on the ground. Leak kind of waited to see if anything would open up. When it didn't, he just decided to push ahead for a few yards.
Yeah, we just saw Niles Morgan go to work. Let's watch a little Micah Alway go to work. Step up, take that gap, slide over, bam, right in the hole. Turn him around. Dozier finishes him off. Good linebacker plays. Where's the price of admission?
Got a couple of them today. 4 yards for Leak. 2nd and 6 for Edmonton. Gets it away. Gittins is wide open. And he's got a first down. His 5th catch of the ball game.
Just looked like there was a mistake in the drops, because it's basically all curls, and you got to extend to the next one. Linebacker to the inside route, halfback to the next one. Go ahead and run it, and you see, stop it there. See, there's 2 defenders in the same spot, not widening to that middle curl.
First down. Gittins has it again, one-on-one. Just tries to push the shoulder down and through Dozier. And they've got another first down, does Edmonton.
Well, he had 22 of those catches coming in. That leads his team in a big way. Curly Gittins on the money catch. That's what I like to call it. That money catch where 2nd down, 2nd and long. Got to get a new set of downs. Come up with the big catch.
All right, we are going to step away. I've been told we're going to have to pause the game briefly because our spider cam that brings us a number of tremendous shots is stuck just above the 30-yard line. There it is.
The game has been stopped. The spider cam doesn't move anymore.
For now. We'll try to get that fired back up. We'll step away from McMahon with Edmonton on top, 13-6. Well, welcome back to McMahon, where we continue to wait for that camera right there to be able to move again. It's the spider cam hooked up on those 4 cables from the corner of the stadium. It does provide us with some absolutely excellent shots.
Yeah.
Had that return touchdown a couple of weeks ago. Beautiful shot all the way along.
Following the returner on that. Yeah, no, it comes with some great video game style shots.
There will be a round of applause here when it moves again. Spider-Cam operators are just down from us here in the booth. I don't know if this is one of those situations where you turn it off and turn it on, or you go down and blow on it and hope it starts working again, but I think we're going to try a reboot and see if it'll get fired back up.
I don't know about you, but every time I ask my kids when my computer freezes, that's the answer. Dad, did you try to start it and restart it?
And does it work?
Almost always.
I would be certain if they reboot this thing, it'll be game on. Has to be. Frustrating right now, for sure, but it does provide some absolutely outstanding footage for us. I was joking with Suits in the break. I said, play on. If it hits it, it's you do the down over again. That's it. Simple as that. Kyle Bethel-Thompson, 250 yards passing so far, has the touchdown. Trey Ford is on the sidelines as well. And MBT playing relatively well today. Nice problem for Edmonton to have with 2 quarterbacks who are kind of hitting the stride here midway through the season.
Yeah, he is. And keep in mind that Cloud Bethel-Thompson started the year with 3 300-yard games. So, you know, when they were 0-7, wasn't necessarily him that was the reason for that. Now, I agree with Matt Dunnigan in the pregame show who talked about Trey Ford just being a difference maker in so many other ways. He's such a dynamic player. I think it really trickles to the rest of the team. And he is healthy to go. That's why he's dressed. But if they had their way, and they're hoping for, is that McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who's played well tonight, can play the game, get the win, and give him another week, Trey Ford another week, to make sure he's completely healed up, and then we'll see what happens in the rematch. But
yeah, if MBT had struggled tonight, Trey would have been good enough to come into this ball game. But MBT has done a very good job.
But Trey Ford, I mean, like, he can put on a show, and I remember Labor Day last year. Ford got the start, and
well, he was moving around. Let's flash it back to Labor Day last season.
Let's take a look at that, because this was the play that was the jaw dropper. Okay, there's three guys there. I'm going to avoid them, give up about 25, 30 yards, get outside, miss that tackle, get outside, cut across all the way to the other side of the field. Big first down, and now after, what was it, 40, 45 yards, a hook slide, just creating.
What really frustrates me is he doesn't even look tired after. Yeah. Just a little jaunt in the park. So, you know, he's 2-0 so far in the season. Had to deal with an injury. They've gone back to MBT. They're 3-1 as a team in their last four. Very well could have beaten Montreal last week. Gave Montreal everything they could handle. Some kicking miscues from Beattie kind of backfired on them in that one against clearly a very good Montreal team. So they'll look to try to close it out here against Calgary, but a long way to go in this one. The cable cam, spider cam, continues to sit there. And we are going to manually move this out of the way. Not Suits and I. Other people will go down there and move this. For now, we're going to send it back to Kate and the panel.
All right, Stamps fans, we're going to scan the crowd and find. Hold on. We might be back. Just kidding, we're back in play. Let's do the thing.
It is a great second half, but a good ending to this game. You got, two teams obviously know what they're fighting for here. But back to what Dusty was saying in the booth. To fix that, you just got to blow on it, right? Like the old Nintendo.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, just blow on it.
That's all you need to do. Yeah. That's all you need to do, right, Matt?
I like it.
Yeah.
Spider cam delay. Okay. All right. Here we go.
That's a new one for us. All right, let's get you back to McMahon. And here's Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Suter once again. Elks still on top, looking to extend their lead.
All right, we are ready to roll. Suits went out there.
Yeah, I got my ladder and
lifted it up. And the spider cam will no longer be an issue.
Saw the guys staying loose on the sideline, stretching. McLeod Bethel-Thompson got a good handful of warm-up throws, and we're good to start again.
About an 8-minute delay, and we are back with 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10, quick reset for you. Edmonton leads 13-6. They'll go on the ground. Nice burst, first down, Brown. And he picked up another one there, didn't he?
Yeah, those in between the tackle runs, they got them both out there this play, though, Kevin Brown and Javon Leak. So you take a look at both backs in the backfield, you're thinking, okay, this is a double threat. Which guy's going to get the ball? Leak shot to the flat. That probably took the attention of Mike Alway for a second. Dozier ends up making the tackle, but not until Brown has the first down.
Edmonton at the 54.
Brown, the lone back in there this time. 6 on the line for Edmonton. MBT gets it away, felt some pressure, and had to get rid of it quickly, and it falls a good 6 feet away from Dylan Mitchell. It'll be second down.
Clear shot here for Mike Alway. Evan Jones was responsible for sliding from the right side of this formation to the backside to pick up that blitz and got there just a split second too late.
2nd and 10.
Big 2nd and 10 here, nearing midfield. Calgary will only send 3. MBT with time, gets it away, finds a spot in that defense and has a first down as he guns it back to 19. Curly Gittens Jr.
Right back to his security blanket, number 19. Take a look at this route, go out, see the zone, sit down in it, boom, nice. 3-man pressure, so McLeod Bethel-Thompson knows he's got an extra second or two, and he steps up, throws a strike.
First 100-yard game of the season for Gittens. He's at 117. Edmonton marching. Pressure again. MBT gets it away. And that will fall incomplete.
Now, I don't have statistics to back this thought up, but when Brett Monson comes with pressure, whether it's first down or second down, when he's brought pressure, it's put Edmonton in some difficult situations and some incomplete passes. When he goes with 3-man rush and drops into zones, McLeod Bethel-Thompson is starting to pick them apart in that area. So expect more blitz from the Calgary defense. There's their DC right there.
Alway with a good, hard, clean tackle to finish that last play on MBT. 2nd and 10 again from the Calgary 43. 3 options. Out to his right, 2 to his wide side left. Gets it away. Jones has this. Tackle made. Jones lunges ahead, and this will be close to a first down if he didn't get it.
It's close.
Inside, when you send blitz, and they did, it's 0 coverage. So defensively, Dozier's playing inside Shea to take away the quick hot throw, and that gives Jones a little bit of time to get turned, and he's strong. Big, strong lower half, and went and got this very close to the mark.
Oh, this is 3rd and less than 1. So Prukop into the game for the first time today. And Edmonton will look to keep their offense on the field. As I mentioned, they have not scored a point in their last 5 consecutive third quarters. Working towards that here.
Prukop's been good this short yardage. They're 9 of 10.
Prukop keeps it, pushes it ahead. That'll be enough. First down for the visitors.
2 good short yardage guys in this game. Dakota Prukop for Edmonton, and of course Tommy Stevens.
Tommy Stevens was the league leader with 8 rushing touchdowns heading in to the weekend.
Everyone on the roster's got a role, and that short yardage guy is an important role.
Prukop has 7 touchdowns himself. Edmonton with just 1 win in the last 11. Labor Day Classics. This is blown down. It's about to be the 10th play of the drive here for Edmonton. Not sure what the holdup was there. They work from the Calgary 32. Leap on the ground, trying to escape. Spins away, stays on his feet, and he's still going. He's got the first down and more. Javon Leak cranking it up a notch here.
Well, this is all on 22. This is Leak just making it happen, creating holes. Watch what he sees when he gets the ball. Stop it there. Boom. He's got nothing. He has nothing to run to. But there's a little gap weak. He says, no, I'm going to keep fighting. Wait, spin again, take that hit, get the pads down. That's a great run.
Can you imagine if he would have escaped at the end there and took that to the house? That would have been an all-timer. Judge eventually got back with some help. Frank Duncan into the game at running back now. 1st and 10 from the 17. MBT, he's going to look to the end zone. No! Looking for Giddens, who was battling there and could not hang on. Stretching out his hammy.
Let's take a look. No flag on the play either. It's against Kobe Williams, this matchup. There's been a couple there. Demario Houston versus Geno Lewis. Giddens versus Williams. Working that short side of the field a ton. I like the no call there from the officials. Just let him play. There was a little grab by Williams as he went by. A little push by Giddens as he was going up. Let the guys decide it. Incomplete.
And Giddens had opened himself up enough to make that catch too, and couldn't haul it in on a day when he's been just terrific. Dave Dickinson chatting with Andre Prue about something here. Second and 10 from the 17. Calgary defense.
Buckle up.
Would love to get off the field here. Force Edmonton to settle for a field goal attempt. 3 options, wide side left for McLeod Thompson. That's where he looks. That's where he throws. He's got Mitchell. Stays on his feet, steps out of bounds. Just shy.
17, Dylan Mitchell.
Oh, maybe he got it. It's close.
Yeah, where did that first foot go out of bounds? Because there was one little spin move. Here he's coming right to you. McLeod Bethel-Tom, put your chips down because it's coming right at you. There you go. And watch the spin there. Another yard there. And that foot may have got him to the marker.
He did. It is a first down. Be 1st and goal here for Edmonton from the 7. And they're going to bring Prukop out into the game here and try to finish from the 7. It's not 2 or 3 yards. This is 7. Prukop will come in. Will he keep it himself or will he hand it off? Has 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. He'll pitch it out to Brown. Brown, stiff arm to get past one man. Back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard ahead. And now they'll bring McLeod Bethel-Thompson back out with the offense.
Sorry, all 3 backs, Dustin, in the game here, almost like a veer type offense. You got Leak over here, Brown over here, and there's Rankin. So 3 tailbacks all there with your running short yardage quarterback. Little fake to the inside. Leak went the opposite way, trying to freeze the defense, but they reacted well to get to Brown.
Julian Hauser there to force him out of bounds at the end of the play. First time today I think we've seen all 3 guys on the field. 2nd and goal now from the 7. Looking to finally find some points in a 3rd quarter of a ball game on an 8-minute drive. MBT gets it away. End zone touchdown! McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Hell no! Finds Tevin Jones. He reels one in himself.
Oh, there's he's going fishing. It's a fishing derby. We got a fishing derby going on here. That's Tevin Jones across the middle on that dig route, man, and that's the one that McLeod Bethel-Thompson loves to throw. And he had a guy in his face there, and that's great accuracy to kind of throw it around the rush. And, whoa, you know what that was. That was a message right to Reggie Bagleton.
Who just also happens to wear number 84.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I like a little spiciness. 14-play drive, 91 yards in over 8 minutes, and they finally score some points in the 3rd quarter.
And kept the momentum through the delay.
An 8-minute delay. Faithful to make it a 14-point lead. That is up. And he puts it through. They've only got 1 win in the last 11 Labor Day Classics here in Calgary. Edmonton is on top, but still a long way to go.
Tevin Jones gets the touchdown here. He's the middle receiver, but the assist goes to Herji Mayala. Watch the routes and how it influences the defense, both in cutting routes. Okay, so Mayala is pulling the linebackers up, and that gives a little space in behind him to Tevin Jones. Linebackers come up on Mayala. He's right at the goal line, and in behind those linebackers, just enough space for Tevin Jones. And he says, okay, over to you, Reggie Begelton. What do you got?
Just beyond the 40 by Peyton Logan. Begelton having himself a day. Jones right there with him. 1-1 shaping up. Well, welcome back to McMahon, where Calgary is trailing and a little banged up defensively. For more on that, let's send it down to Farhan.
Yeah, Dustin, midway through the first half, Trey Roberson left this game with a leg injury. As a result, the team moved rookie Ben LaBrosse over to the field side corner. Now, LaBrosse started this game at half, his first home start. He was the 4th overall pick in the draft, and Dave Dickinson has been very bullish on him. The day he got drafted, he said, this kid is different. Then in training camp, he got his hands on so many of Jake Maier's passes. The quarterback coach, Bo Baldwin, went to the defensive staff and said, this guy's absolutely legit. Brent Monson told me yesterday that they have no concerns about his athleticism. He's as athletic as anyone in the building. He runs 4.4 in the 40, a 43-inch vertical, and they have no qualms starting him at half in whatever matchups he might get. They weren't going to change coverages, but with Roberson down, there have been some coverage changes and some adjustments, and I think it's been showing.
That's why they're playing more zone, probably, and, you know, not to try and get him on an island, although you're right. I mean, Farhan mentioned his 40 time. He tied for first in the combine in that. He also had the best broad jump. So athletically, he's gifted.
Mayer has that batted down at the line. DeMarcus Christmas denies the delivery.
Boy, he had the curl open, too. He knows it. Getting the next play on second down. Got to move on, but he had the curl wide open.
Bears 11 of 19 for 154 and an interception, and they've not really been able to get the running game going at all. Needs 10 yards here from his own 41. Looks to his left, throws over the middle, and he's got a first down into the hands of Begelton. And now he does a Tevin Jones impression. I'm so confused.
Ah, this is great. I love it. Just keep on challenging each other. The Battle of Alberta continues. There's a nice little dig route. And then reaction after. Tevin Jones. Yeah.
80 yards for Begelton so far. Now they'll get one out to Philpott. He's got some room to go. Down to the 30, to the 20, and Morgan will track him down and take him down. But Philpott with a big one for the Stampeders, and they're in business.
Both Philpotts are so smooth when they run, whether it's route running or with the ball, but they don't lose any speed when they make their breaks. I mean, that's just a great turn with full speed action and then a little pause to let a couple of guys fly by. And Philpott, maybe the play that kickstarts this Calgary offense.
First catch of the game for Philpott. Calgary in the red zone. Looking for an offensive spark here. They'll go from the Edmonton 13. Mayer is going to be throwing again. Has a ton of time. Out to his right. Now he's going to take it, and he slides down towards the 11. Short game for Jake Mayer.
Got out there. Jake Mayer gets out and rolls here. He sees Niles Morgan dropping off. Doesn't have a lot of pressure. And a good decision with Nick Anderson sitting there.
Got 2 yards on his own. They're going to dial up here defensively. Shivers at DC for Edmonton. Mayer has 3 options out to his right. One of them is Begelton. Has time over the middle to the
watch out the horse. Got to get him going. This is a route coming out of the backfield for Hill. He dives and crosses the plane before the knee touches. Every scoring play is automatically reviewed. They will be reviewing that in real time right now to see if he was down by contact. But I thought live,
oh yeah,
he crossed the plane.
What a stretch.
And that ball hitting the turf after the ball crossed the plane is irrelevant.
Paredes puts it through. And we've got a 7-point ball game. Big man, 5-play, 69-yard drive in 2:28.
That's great effort at the end of this for Kylan Hill, who's going to come out of the backfield and then get through the linebackers who jam him within the 5-yard zone. So he had to break through 2 linebackers to get there. He opens up for Mayer, makes a good catch, and then extends for his first touchdown in the Canadian Football League.
15th passing touchdown of the season for Mayer. Kylan Hill out of Mississippi State to the end zone at McMahon.
Well, that Jalen Philpott play,
oh yeah,
may be the play. You know, that play got the defense up and looking. They're going to be fired up to come out. We'll watch that coverage with no Trey Roberson.
Paredes hammers it away. Cobb will take it just inside his own 10. Has some room to ramp it up. There's a flag as he cuts it on the outside and takes it out beyond the 40. But a flag on the return, and I would think this is coming back.
This was a flag down.
During the return, holding Edmonton number 38, 10-yard penalty, first down, Edmonton.
I'm pretty sure flags on returns are my least favorite thing. I just think that,
Well,
especially when it's a big one.
No, but
just overall, it's a buzzkill on a return.
You know, special teams, we've got a guy down here for Calgary, but special team coaches will tell the cover teams right out of the gate, because I was on all those cover teams, and I remember being in those meetings and having the coach come in and say, look, in this league, because he's talking to a lot of the American players, but in this league, the returners are so good that sometimes you don't need to block your guy. All you have to do in the return is maybe get in his way, make him run around you. The returners are fast here. So don't get a penalty, because it can be so punitive. I mean, a huge return gets you past center and you're all the way back inside your own 15-yard line after a penalty like that. They're huge. The only bigger penalty is pass interference at times.
Was Thomas who was down. He's now up and working his way slowly off the field. After the penalty, the drive for Edmonton will start on their own 10. Their last drive.
Huge moment for Brent Monson's. Huge moment for Brent Monson's group here, Dustin, to play off the touchdown drive by their offense and get right back into tying this football game, get the ball back in a 2 and out, and Jake Mayer has great field position.
Exactly.
Easier said than done with the way that McLeod Bethel-Thompson has played much better in this third quarter than his team has played in the past few weeks.
He's 9 yards away from a 300-yard game. They'll start it on the ground. And that should do it for the third quarter. Kevin Brown with that first down carry. Edmonton looking for that rare win on the road at McMahon on Labor Day. They will head to the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead. Do not go anywhere. We'll wrap up Labor Day weekend when we return to Calgary. We've got a good one brewing here at McMahon. Edmonton leads 20-13. What jumps off this page?
Well, first of all, Calgary's done a pretty good job against the Edmonton run, but Edmonton feels like they've had a more dominant 3 quarters than the numbers show, although McLeod Bethel-Thompson, I think, has played one of his better football games. So, but bottom line, we are Labor Day weekend, Battle of Alberta, seen some physicality on defense. We'll continue to see that, I guarantee you. And it looks like maybe Jake Maier's offense with that Jalen Philpott play, finishing with a touchdown, maybe they get going here. 1 possession game heading into the 4th.
Can't ask for more. Great crowd here at McMahon as well. Absolutely jammed, and they're being treated to an excellent second half so far. Where does this one end up? Calgary come from behind and steal one away from Edmonton. 2nd and 7 for NBT. Time in the pocket, over the middle. He's got Mitchell, but he won't have a first down. They closed quickly on him, didn't they?
Yeah, well, this was a show blitz, Dustin, so they basically wanted to plug the line of scrimmage. And remember, we talked about the difference between blitz and how they've got to McLeod Bethel-Thompson. I think he was anticipating it, but he didn't really get it. They just went with basic pressure and dropped everybody to force the underneath throw and then rally to the tackle. Logan looking like he needs some instruction from the sideline.
He already stands in the distance on your screen there at his own 40. Julian can boom it. This one is up and it's into the wind. And it'll be taken at the 41. Near side and out of bounds at midfield.
That was close.
Return steps out of bounds near midfield.
A great drive by Jake Maier to just try to working off. Good defensive effort. Gets it going to Bagleton, and this is the play. This is the play that got the defense on the bench up out of their seats. Saw Philpott go down the sideline, get into scoring range, and then the touchdown. Defense comes out after that drive, gets a 2 and out, and now great field position for Calgary.
That is how the momentum can swing so quickly. They start this drive smack dab at midfield. Hill stands in behind his quarterback. He'll fake it to him. Maier now down the field, has a nice window and drops it in there to Markin Michel. First catch of the game for Michel is a beauty.
Concentration here from Markin Michel, because he has to lay out for this because Jake Maier's throws away from coverage. So he's got a linebacker closing inside out, and he needs to throw it out there and hope that Markin Michel can secure this and watch the concentration. Oh, nice. Arms underneath. Nick Anderson right in the vicinity.
15 yards to Michel. Maier goes that way again. Michel picks it up for 1 tackle, but not the second, as Cordell Jackson came in to finish off what Moncrief started.
Yeah, that's why you hustle. That's why you hustle defensively, even though you see a guy that might have a clear look at the tackle. It doesn't matter. There's Michel comes in and then hits the flat. Now Moncrief's got him, but you keep hustling because he might spin out of that. He does, and that's where Cordell Jackson comes up and helps his teammate. Moncrief went right over to 15, went, hey, thanks, man.
Thank you. 2nd and 6. Maier hit as he throws. Deep shot down the field. Intercepted. Purifoy takes it away. Just inside the 5. Second INT of the game from Maier. And this one a bit of a backbreaker early in the 4th quarter. Jake got walloped as he let this thing fly. Look at that. Curtis drills him. Hangs it out there. Purifoy slides over, has his 2nd pick of the year.
Calgary's wondering why Jake Maier threw that ball. There's Markin Michel. He's the target. He's going to get an inside release here and be actually looking like he's open. Stop it there. Now he's got inside leverage. What Jake Maier doesn't see is Purifoy's already on his way over from that safety spot to help on this deep ball, and he tracks it down.
Edmonton starts. Great to Gibbons. Ball pops say no catch. Is going to try to argue this. We'll give you another look.
Here's the physicality we talked about at the turn. Watch this hit. This is our way.
Double pop.
He's a thumper. Boom. Explodes into contact.
Ouch. Huge 2nd and 10 on the Edmonton 3. Calgary's defense trying to get this ball back right away. MBT from his own end zone down the field to Lewis. He's got it. And he'll take it up to the 25. Ball pops out. Picked up by Devin Jones. What is happening? And now he's off to the races midfield. Jones will take it to the 40. He's going to take it to the 20, and he is tripped up at the 1. So close. Williams gets back and stops him. Jones ran out of gas. 106-yard play that comes to an end on the 1.
First, an accurate throw from McLeod Bethel Thompson, and then all mayhem breaks loose. I mean, he's got a guy in his face. He hits that accurate throw in a tight window. The ball pops out. Devin Jones on the 1-hopper gets it and gone, and tremendous hustle by Calgary to give their defense one more chance to maybe keep him out of the end zone. But there is your TSN turning point in a one-possession game.
Down to the 1 means Prukop will come in. A fortunate bounce for Edmonton. Can they finish? Prukop in, touchdown! The visitors extend the lead again. Boom!
Good job, man. Way to get it.
Remember we talked about hustling if you're not the primary. If you're not, there's that goal line push. If you're not the primary on defense in the tackling department, we saw with Moncrief how Cordell Jackson helped him a few plays ago. Same can happen on offense. If you're not the target and you don't have the ball, keep hustling. Tevin Jones didn't stop working, and when he got over there, that ball popped out, and he was right where he needed to be to scoop it. People will say that's lucky. It's not lucky. It's about hustle.
Faithful puts it up and through, and the lead is once again 14. Calgary, though, with 10 more minutes to put together a comeback. The big boys celebrate the short yardage TD.
All young receivers watch Tevin Jones here and just by example follow his lead. He's not the primary target. He's going all the way down the field, hustle down the bottom right of your screen. Now he's looking for a block, and look what happens. Ball pops out. He's right there to scoop it, and away he goes. I mean, we're talking about just being in the right place at the right time. It's not lucky. It's hustle. And that was our spider cam, by the way. Back in action.
They gives me called out for doing the peace sign too early and getting tracked down at the 1. Good hustle by Williams. They end up punching one in with Prukop anyway. That would have been another fishing celebration from Tevin Jones if you ever seen it. Well, now Calgary, though, still 10 minutes, ton of time. Got their offense going a little bit here, but Jake Mary's going to have to crank it up a notch. He's on pace. He's 241 yards already, but 2 interceptions, including one just a few plays before that.
Still
big one.
A lot of time. A lot of time left in this game.
Mayor 16 of 25. Nothing really on the ground so far. They've only ran the ball 8 times, and one of those was just a scramble from Jake. He'll be throwing here over the middle. Tight window, solid coverage, but the catch is made by Philpott. He had Moncrief draped all over him.
He did. I think it surprised Moncrief. Run that crossing route, and I think Moncrief was thinking, you know, I've got him so well covered, there is no way you're going to throw this. But Jake Mayer felt the pocket was collapsing a little bit and hit him.
Jake Mayer and his Stampeders. 4-man pressure. Gets it away. And it's broken up, and that'll be third down. Tried to go to Philpott again. Cordell Jackson was there to lock him down.
Well, in the first play that we just saw, Philpott on the crosser, he was the number 3 receiver, the inside receiver, and that means he got locked up on Moncrief. That time he was number 2, did the crosser. Cordell Jackson adds to his knockdown total. He leads the team.
Offense will stay on the field. 3rd and 3, down 14, but still 9 minutes left.
I'm not sure about this. Really early.
Stands to the left of his quarterback, Mayer. Gets it away. He's got it for the first down. It's Beggleton, of course. And Calgary's offense gets a big one.
Even though it worked, still not sure about it. And why not with the veteran? Beggleton back from that bunch formation and just cuts underneath coverage.
4 options out to the wide side left. Instead, he'll go right side to his running back. Found a little bit of room. Kylan Hill high-stepping across midfield and braced for a big boom from Bratton.
Well, one of his superpowers is clearly going to be him catching the ball out of the backfield. We talked about how he did that well in college as well. And draft pick in the National Football League. He can catch the ball in the backfield, and he looks for contact.
To Michelle, tackle immediately. Moncrief, the veteran, sets up a 2nd and long as they'll take a loss on first down.
Loss of 2 yards, 2nd down.
He's been important to that defense, Moncrief, a veteran guy.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in, stabilizing things as the 3rd linebacker alongside Morgan and Anderson.
I think Maddie talked about it at halftime. That's as good a linebacking core as you'll see in the CFL.
Jake Mayer looking for 12. Down the field. Drops it in. What a catch. Beggleton again. Beggleton went and got it. He's over 100 yards.
Well, you know what? He's going to run into his limit. You know, you're going to limit out here with catches because this is a beauty. He's got a guy closing quickly. He's got to go and reach out for it, keep in bounds as well. He knows the sideline's getting close. What a great catch.
6 catches, 108 yards for Beggleton. Calgary looking for an immediate response. 1st and 10 from the Edmonton 29. Mayer, a ton of time. Flag on the far side as he dumps it off to Logan. Logan will eventually be taken down by Kai Gray, but there was a flag as Jake threw that.
Pushed out of bounds by number 5, Kai Gray.
Illegal procedure. Calgary, no end. 5-yard penalty. Will replay first down.
Well, that'll wipe that play off the board and back him up 5. Mayer a couple yards away from a 300-yard game. Edmonton lines up 4, sends all 4 of them. Mayer gets it away. Tight window, intercepted. It hung up there and was taken away by Bynum. His 2nd of the game. And Jake's thrown 3. A tough one this time for Mayer. 2 Edmonton defenders come together. Bounces up off of Hyman. And Bynum slides underneath it.
Edmonton at their own 28.
A great crowd at McMahon is now hoping that their defense can get the ball back sooner rather than later. Near side, Mayala sidesteps it out around the 38.
Number 11, Hergy Mayala.
Yeah, now you got to think Calgary's defensively has to start trying to tackle the ball. I mean, that you can miss that way, but they've got to create a turnover.
Short yardage, Brewcop will come out for a 2nd and inches. Calgary's dropped their last 2. 17-day bye. And now facing a possible 3-game slide. If Edmonton hangs on here, the West gets, very, very interesting.
And Edmonton right back in it. I mean, after an 0-7 start, think of that.
501 net yards of offense for Edmonton, and they'll tack on at least one more and pick up the first down.
Well, you know, you think about it, the Calgary Stampeders coming into this game were so focused on stopping the run. Javon Leake was back. Kevin Brown on the roster. I heard throughout the week, Mike Rose talked about it, Coach talked about it. A lot of people on that in that Calgary organization talking about we've got to be good and better against the run, and especially against this team with their dynamic 3-headed monster in the backfield. And in the first quarter, they sort of accomplished that, and that's when McLeod Bethel-Thompson went to work with play action and throwing the ball. Now, the injury to Trey Roberson, I think that was a big factor. There's a lot of zone defense playing by Calgary.
MBT's over 400 yards. They did tackle on that entire fumble recovery by Jones. Nice yardage for MBT, and boy, that would have changed this game instantly. Hauser, that close.
Oh man!
Wow.
Got to create a turnover. Julian Hauser heard us, and he went, okay, yeah, let me try to do that. Up the field, going right past my guy. Now I just got to track it down. Come on. Oh. So close.
Third career 400-yard game for MBT. Hauser. Oh. That would have changed the dynamics of this football game. Maybe they can take it away here. 2nd and 10. MBT goes to Leak. Tackled immediately. Well short of the first down. And Edmonton will kick it away one more time. Mission accomplished by the Stampeders defense. They keep getting the ball back for their offense, but 3 interceptions from Jake Mayer has been a bit of a killer here today.
Yeah, Edmonton defense really stepping up, and the reason for the thumbs up, I think, from McLeod Bethel-Thompson there was that he'll take that shorter gain, punt the ball, make Jake Mayer go the distance, put his defense back on the field, and not force it. After Julian Hauser came that close, he went, oh, I'm not going to force anything here.
Julian lets the clock tick down. Logan awaits the kick. Stands on his own 15. Gets it away cleanly. Logan has to backpedal and take it at the 5. Stays on his feet. Finds a little bit of space. Here goes Peyton Logan. Oh boy, he's going to get to midfield. There's a block. Logan, one man can catch him in Brewcop. Logan down to the 20, to the 10. Gone! Not a flag in sight. Logan with the house call, and Calgary has life.
It's Labor Day. Do you expect anything less?
Nope.
Come on. Logan, deep punt. Possibly even out-kicking the coverage team. And Logan bobs and weaves his way the distance. And great hustle to get that last chance. I believe that was lacrosse.
104 yards for Peyton Logan. There's an injured Elk down on the field. That's why we've not yet gone for the extra point. Leon O'Neal Jr., he's up and going to walk off.
That's some grown man shit, Peyton.
Logan has looked dangerous for years. And he pulls that one out. Weaved his way through the coverage. Found some space at about the 40. And it was goodbye, see you later.
Let it go to work. I swear I saw everything you saw there. I'm like, hell yeah. I've seen that whole shit, right? You like that.
Well, the key block on the return was on the kicker.
Paredes knocks it through, and it's a 7-point game.
Jake Julian and the punter in a big return like this, their job is not necessarily to make the tackle, but to turn the returner back into where the pursuit is coming from behind. So watch Logan get out here. Now it's Cole Tucker. Stop it there. There's the key block, because if Julian gets outside, then you got your returner going back, and then the pursuit can get to him. But that big block, putting Julian on his backside, got Logan to the outside of the field and down that sideline. And that's a biggie. Woo! And boom, right there.
And then an escort the rest of the way from LaBrosse. And McMahon erupts. And we've got a long way to go. We haven't even entered the most chaotic moments of this football game just yet. 3 minutes looms ahead.
Well, and it happens where now no decision for Dave Dickinson. He just pounds this ball deep, puts his defense out there. And I mean about onside or not onside. But before the 3-minute warning, you're kicking it deep.
Paredes lets it fly. Taken by Mitchell. Tackle made just outside the 30 by St. Cyr.
Well, now you'd think that Edmonton wants to lean on that run game that has been so successful throughout the last 4 weeks, their last 4 games, just to bring it full circle. McLeod Bethel-Thompson thrown for over 400, so you know they're confident there. But you know, when you throw the ball and it bounces around, bad things can happen. My guess is they want to lean on that run game, see if they can grind that clock a little bit. However, Calgary knows that too.
Leak waits in behind his quarterback. Of course he'll get it. And Leak will take it ahead all the way, among others, on the tackle. And that'll set up a second down. Labor Day Classic living up to the name between Edmonton and Calgary. Settle in. Great finish on the way. Well, an outstanding CFL season continues with Week 14. Lions and Alouettes on Friday Night Football, and then Super Saturday. Argos and Redblacks will get us started. The Banjo Bowl on CTV. And then these two teams will go at it up the highway in Edmonton. That Saturday's going to be unreal.
Now that game's not on TSN, only on CTV.
And we'll have it for you from Winnipeg. Huge play here. 2nd and 6. Edmonton looking for a first down. MBT, he's going to look down the field, and he's got Jones. Stays inside. Oh, are you kidding me? Jones in his head. Touchdown, Edmonton. And that might do it. 73 yards to Tevin Jones. And Edmonton blows it open again.
This puts McLeod Bethel-Thompson at almost 500 yards passing.
Receiver, Calgary number 0. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
And McLeod Bethel-Thompson in that situation doesn't get conservative. Doesn't sit on it with a crosser or tries to go with a check down or anything like it. What does he do? A corner route, deep corner to Tevin Jones. Wow.
Tevin Jones is at 208 yards, 2 touchdowns on 5 catches, and you probably didn't even start him in fantasy. Career high for MBT at 486. And Edmonton once again bounces the lead back up to 14.
Let's take a look at the route. It's Dozier has to take away the inside because of the pressure. He doesn't have any help deep, so he's a little bit late to the party there. Thought he got there with the hands. The concentration by Tevin Jones. Didn't get distracted by the hand of Dozier in there and turned the corner.
After
Dozier
the
laid
play,
out.
major foul, unnecessary roughness, Edmonton number 96. This is a misconduct 15-yard penalty that will be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, the highest scoring team in the Canadian Football League has hung 34 on the Stampeders at McMahon. 3 different receivers have 100-yard games.
And their quarterback situation is very good when you think about the game from McLeod Bethel Thompson now, and that Trey Ford will be completely healthy for the rematch next week. 2 healthy quarterbacks, 1 veteran passer from the pocket. The dynamic that Trey Ford brings you. With this game, you throw for 500, you're starting. You win the game.
Oh, yeah.
You're starting in the rematch.
Giddens has 115 yards. Gino has 112 yards. Jones has 208 yards. 400 yards split up among those 3 receivers.
But that's been, you know, just to get back to McLeod Bethel Thompson for a second. Early in the year, when they were losing games, he was putting up big numbers. Not 500, but big numbers. And wasn't making those plays down the stretch in the 4th quarter. And that led to, after 0-7, Trey Ford.
There goes Hill on the return. Up and over. How about that? Kylan Hill in his 2nd CFL game. Already has a touchdown, and now he's got another highlight.
Yeah, he's a keeper. We'll keep him. Keep him in the league. He's got a touchdown tonight. Oh, that athleticism.
Pretty impressive stuff.
But just before that, thinking back to the beginning of the season, looking at McLeod Bethel Thompson, inside of 3 minutes, can he put together a drive there or a score to make it a 2-possession game and take control again? And wow, did he deliver.
Far side, drops one in to Hyman, and he'll have that with Kai Gray on his back. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Now the Edmonton secondary is going to back off. They'll give these Calgary receivers lots of room, make them throw it underneath in front of them, and then rally to the tackle.
Got there and wrapped him up after he had a little bit of time in the pocket.
3rd down. 3rd down. 3rd down. What's up? What's up?
Coaching from Jarius Jackson. Reminder to the defense. It's 3rd down. Get the stop here. Kill more time on the clock. 4-man pressure. Good coverage downfield.
3rd and 13. They're in trouble again. Trying to get away from Brown. Returns. Heaves one down the field. Intercepted for good measure. It's Purifoy's 2nd of the game. The 4th thrown by Jake Mayer. And that should be the final dagger.
Well, the 4th was a desperation throw. The other 3, they'll have to break that down when they get to the film sessions. But I'll tell you what, let's give some credit, a bunch of credit to this Edmonton defense all game long. Couple of plays by Calgary. Bagleton had himself a decent game, but this defense has created turnovers, and that's been the issue for Calgary. When they win games, they win the turnover battle. When they don't, they lose it.
Purifoy with 2. Bynum with 2. Mayer with 4, and he'll have to go back to the drawing board before traveling up to Edmonton on Saturday.
Boy, the standings get interesting, as you mentioned.
It's messy. It's amazing, but messy.
It's
also put Edmonton and Calgary at 8 points apiece. And they are just behind the teams at the top. We'll give you
look at this.
A look.
Look at this in the West. Saskatchewan drops a dramatic game to Winnipeg. So the Bombers, what is that, 4 in a row for the Bombers? They're at 500. BC gets the win in Victoria. So they've got a little bit of an edge, but it's anybody's ball game in the West.
Well, I know in the month of September, Edmonton gets Calgary. Then a home and home with Winnipeg.
Yeah, they get
two huge games against Winnipeg.
Two more games between these two teams.
Yeah, they'll play next week and then again in early October, I believe. And that could be a huge one as well.
Well, the West is playing the West in the final month and a half of the season, that's for sure.
Yeah, Calgary's played 10 games, only 4 of them against the West so far, as Dickinson will call a timeout.
I walked by G-Roy Simon,
Calgary,
before this game up in the box here, and I was talking to G-Roy about his team, and I said, you know, you guys win today, and you're right in the fight. And he looked at me and without hesitation said, oh, we're going to win today.
Oh, very confident.
Honestly, great confidence. I went, oh, okay, all right. I'm not sure if he thought his quarterback was going to throw for 500 yards.
Well, they've won 4 of 5 now. And the one they lost was against Montreal in a field goal miss from Beattie late, kind of changed that one. So maybe the tide is turning a bit here for Edmonton. Calgary will have lost 3 in a row. 2 in a row at home. Julian just decides to boot this one down and through the end zone. That'll make it a 15-point ball game.
Yeah, I'm not sure he wanted to do that, but home and home, because home and home doesn't matter. They play 2 more times. So you got to think about that too when they're playing West against West throughout the next 7 weeks of the season, because you want to look at points for and against, and we'll get a chance to look at Logan Bonner here come up to finish this one off.
He's attempted 8 passes so far this year, completed half of them. Second-year man out of Utah State. Mop-up duty for Calgary. Completes the pass up to the 50. To Philpott.
One of the things that I think Calgary's really got to work on, they might have a guy here in Hill, is their run game, though. I mean, they've had to juggle there's Logan Bonner's numbers, but you know, they've had to juggle their O-line. Talked about the last-second scratch of Bryce Bell. He's a veteran up front. They've had to make a bunch of changes throughout the season up there. And that affects your run game. Off the top, we talked about Edmonton's great run game, and their offensive line has played together for 5 straight weeks. And that chemistry is important in blocking for those tailbacks. So, you know, I think if Calgary's got to work on something, bring some balance, so that they can get a little bit of success running the ball.
Yeah, Calgary's had 9 different offensive linemen start for them this season.
Yeah.
Second most in the league, I believe.
Yeah.
This man is a problem for them tonight. Oakman bounces back up. He was a big midseason addition as well to this Edmonton defense. Calgary won the Labor Day Classic last year, 35-31. Had taken 10 of the last 11 in this matchup on this day. This will be a second down coming up after the completion to Philpott.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Philpott get a few more touches too. I mean, that one big play he made really kind of kick-started Calgary. Although they couldn't close to a tie, they could only close to the one possession behind.
Bonner, another completion. Back to Philpott again. Steady diet of Philpott here with Bonner. Tackle made by Anderson with 48 seconds on the clock.
This Edmonton Elks team now, Their defense playing, their front seven, their linebacking core, and the young guy in the secondary is playing maybe his best football in Cordell Jackson. And, you know, when you think about that with Bratton and Kai Gray being solid into the boundary, you know, and those guys playing together for as long as they have, they can lock down that short side. And the question in the early on issues were not to put it on Cordell Jackson, but he was the young guy trying to find his way. And I mentioned off the top, he's one of the guys that is now leading their team in knockdowns and interceptions.
All 5 of the guys you see in the secondary right there have multiple interceptions on the season. 2 of them have multiple interceptions tonight.
Almost another one.
Almost another one that time. That would have been the first of the year for Anderson. So it's a secondary full of ball hawks so far this season.
You know, and credit to this Elks team too, that after the Peyton Logan returned for a touchdown, boy, they weren't affected by it. You know, a team back in the 0-7 time, they would have collapsed after that.
They would have fumbled in and it would have been a touchdown.
Exactly, and they didn't. They marched out there offensively and hit the deep one to Tevin Jones.
3rd down. Bagleton looking for the first. Gets hammered there by Morgan. And he'll be stopped short. That'll be a turnover on downs as Anderson and Bagleton go head-to-head, and it leads to a late flag. Still some chirping down on the field. Purifoy not happy.
Well, we got to plant some seeds for the rematch, right?
Moncrief puts his hand up like, I got him.
Yeah.
Relax.
After the play, misconduct, objectionable conduct, 10 yards, Edmonton number 48. It will be first down, back 10 yards for Edmonton.
Nick Anderson, Moncrief, and Morgan have combined for 18 tackles in this game for the Edmonton defense. Edmonton will have the ball to end the game. And McLeod Bethel-Thompson, Edmonton has a quarterback problem. They've got 2 that can start.
Well, yeah, listen, I think Trey Ford has been instrumental in getting this team on the right track with his 2 starts that he went 2-0 on. But he almost threw for 500 yards. And that corner route to Tevin Jones with over 2 minutes to go, that's what was missing with him. And now he's made that play, and it's the Gatorade shower.
That was the final blow. Jarius Jackson has a Labor Day Classic victory as MBT will take a knee, and Edmonton's coming back up the highway with a win. 35-20, the final.
Well, we'll do it all again in about, what, 5 days or so, 6 days or so?
That's the stage nicely, doesn't it? 5 days. Do it again on Saturday up in Edmonton. Calgary will be looking to snap a 3-game slide, Suits.
Yeah, they need some balance in their offense, and this Edmonton Elks team has figured it out.
For just the 2nd time in the last 12 years, Edmonton has taken the Labor Day Classic away from the Calgary Stampeders. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, a career high 486 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. And it's 4 of the last 5 ending in victory for the Green and Golds. That'll do it for Labor Day. Sports Center is next.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sports Center. She's Nikki. I'm Mark. Labor Day, the unofficial end of the summer. But It's what many say is the start of the real CFL season.
Yeah.
We'll kick things off with both games, and let's begin with the Battle of Alberta with the Elks looking to get a little bit closer to the Stamps in the West standings.
Yeah, this one lived up to the term Labor Day Classic. Of course, though, starting off on a somber note with a tribute to the Goudreau brothers, Johnny and Matthew, who passed away last week. Calgary playing their first game since the passing of Johnny Goudreau. Multiple Stampeder players arrived to the game in flames in Goudreau jerseys. Stamps also held a pregame ceremony that included 13 seconds of silence in memory of Matthew and Johnny Goudreau. To the game now. Trey Ford active after missing back-to-back games with a rib injury, but not starting. Elks elect to keep McLeod Bethel Thompson under center. Late first half, he finds Gino Lewis with the back shoulder fade. Bethel Thompson had 230 first half passing yards and has the Elks ahead 13-6 at the break. The second half now still 13-6. Check out this run from Javon League. Just breaks tackle after tackle and refuses to go down. Keeps moving for a huge 15-yard gain. League has run for over 250 yards over the last 3 weeks. That's the Elks up for more points. Later in the drive, Bethel Thompson connects with a wide-open Tevin Jones for the score. Bethel Thompson's second TD pass of the day puts Edmonton ahead by 14 points. To the fourth quarter now, Elks lead now just 7.
Trying to get this ball back right away. MBT from his own end zone down the field to Lewis. He's got it. It'll take it up to the 25. Ball pops out. Picked up by Tevin Jones. What is happening? And now he's off to the races midfield. Jones will take it to the 40. He's going to take it to the 20, and he is tripped up at the 1. So close.
What is happening indeed? Unbelievable. Lewis makes the catch, then fumbles it, but he heads a play from Jones to pick up the ball and take it all the way to the 1. Elks punch it in from there. They would go on to win this Labor Day Classic 35-20, the final. So after starting the season 0-7, the Elks have won 4 of their last 5 games. It's just the second time in the last 12 Labor Day Classic matchups with Calgary that Edmonton has won. The Elks and Stamps still meet 2 more times this season. Edmonton hasn't won the season series against Calgary since 2015. Let me correct myself. The final was 34-20.
Now, earlier in the day was the Argonauts taking on the Ticats. Chad Kelly playing in his second game since being suspended for violating the league's gender-based violence policy. Tabby's fans chanting "no means no" during Argos possessions. And second play from scrimmage, Kelly drops back
Suspension.
and will get picked off by Richard Leonard. Toronto would challenge for a defensive pass interference, but the call would stand. A great start for Hamilton, and then just 2 plays later, Bo Levi Mitchell looking deep, finding his favorite target in Tom White over the top.
Loaded up over the top.
Mitchell playing in his first Labor Day Classic since 2019. He is 6-0 in his career on Labor Day. It's now 14-3 Hamilton, and it was Mitchell looking deep again.
My career in general, but how I react to this moment. Forget the playoffs. Today is Labor Day. Just win.
And right on cue, Tim White will walk it in. Bo Levi on fire.
He really does love Labor Day.
Mitchell's second touchdown of the quarter as the Ticats jump out to a commanding 21-3 lead after 1. Now back to Kelly. It's 24-9, under 3 to play in the half. Kelly finds Davaris Daniels for the short score. Toronto going for 2, and it's Kelly who keeps it himself. Jamal Peters goes low and flips Kelly into the end zone. However, after they reviewed it, it's ruled the ball never crossed the goal line. So it's the Ticats up 27-15 at the half. Third quarter, Toronto's opening drive, and they do score. It's Kelly who scrambles again, makes a couple defenders miss, and this time finds the end zone. Toronto down just 5. Fourth quarter, game tied at 28, under 4 minutes to play. Mitchell facing 2nd and 14 from the Argos 39, and he's sacked, bringing out Mark Leggio for a 55-yard field goal. Leggio,
55 yards away.
I have to say it, had the leg and gets it through the uprights. The Ticats snap a 4-game Labor Day Classic losing streak. 31-28 is their final. Bo Levi Mitchell improving moving to 7-0 in Labor Day Classics. Sunday was the first time Chad Kelly has lost to the Ticats. Hamilton has won the first 2 meetings against Toronto this season, giving them the season series for the first time since 2019. And after the win, Mitchell celebrated with the TSN panel.
Bo, let's start with this performance, and 7-0 now for yourself in Labor Day games. You know you love playing on this day, but for this team, in the 4-game losing streak coming in and then putting home a performance like that in front of the home crowds, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot to be able to come out here in front of these fans. They work so hard in this city, and to show the other city that we're not going to mention, you know, what we're made of over here in Hammertown, it was awesome, man. It's just a great job from the team coming out and getting a win.
A word for your quarterback. He's now 7-0 in Labor Days, but his first win here at Tim Hortons Field on this day.
Hey, congratulations, man. Keep on balling. We're not finished yet. We're not done yet.
So here's how the CFL standings are shaping up. The West is wide open with the Bombers and Lions tied at the top, but every team can still catch first place. The Argos' up and down season continued. They haven't won or lost more than 2 games in a row this season. Dating back to last year, the Owls have won 18 of their last 19 games, including the playoffs. They are the class of the league so far. With more on Labor Day Monday, here's Kate Burness in the panel.
Alongside David Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Stiegel, and what a weekend in the CFL it was. Once again, Labor Day weekend does not disappoint. We've been across the country and back, and of course, ending here in Hamilton. It's all quiet now, but our first game of the day, this place was absolutely rocking. And Maddie, that is because the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they finally got a win after that 4-game slide. And let me tell you, Bo Levi Mitchell, he loves playing on Labor Day. He's a perfect 7-0, and he was great in this one.
Isn't that crazy number? And the fact that he hadn't started in one of these since 2019, and to go out here and ignite this crowd when he needed to, when this is do or die. You can't go to 2-10. So they moved to 3-9. It's because of Bo and Tim White, and he was dialed in the deep ball. It was like old Bo, and he dialed it back, and he was in every moment. He was a conduit for the energy in this at Tim Hortons Field. And his favorite target, of course, was Tim White. What I liked was Bo right in this late in the first half. He checked it down. They kicked the field goal, and that ended up being the deciding points. But you saw him pull the ball down a couple times. 2 carries for 25 yards. That's insane numbers for Bo Levi Mitchell at this stage of his career, because he just doesn't do that. It was just a phenomenal effort from their leader, and the crowd was absolutely on fire because of it.
Yeah, the leader and the crowd. You said it in KB. You mentioned it. The energy in this place today was special.
It was awesome.
And, you know, that's why football is such a great spectator sport. It's because fans can resonate with this physicality. They can feel the passion. And it's not always at this level. It's always physical in football, because you got to come in and bring it every day when you play this game. But it was extra special today. And it's easy for us to look at the changes the Ticats made. This is a 2-9, was a 2-9 football team going into the day. But if you don't play your best football, you could lose to anybody. It's easy for us to look at the change they made, bringing in Chris Jones as a defensive coordinator, as the big change of why they played better football today. But I really think it was the passion, not to take away anything Chris Jones did, because he's a smart football man, but the passion that this team had, the physicality they played with, to me, that was the biggest thing.
And it was all about these teams at the bottom of their division trying to work their way up. First, it was the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and then it was the Edmonton Elks. And it was funny because before this game, we said, okay, we know McLeod Bethel-Thompson's the starter, but Trey Ford's right there. What's MBT going to do? Well, MBT had a career day, Milt.
Yeah, he showed out. And it's a luxury having a quarterback like McLeod Bethel-Thompson at your arsenal, because he's able to do big things. And we know that. This man led the Toronto Argonauts to a Grey Cup championship a few years back. He was having a good year this year. Yes, they were struggling as a team, but he was putting up some good numbers. And when they put in Trey Ford, they kept it going, and Trey Ford got hurt, and he stepped in, and he's done a great job. So McLeod Bethel-Thompson deserves a lot of credit. He didn't cry. He didn't pout. Yes, he wanted to be the starter, but he understood that they needed to make a change. And when he got his opportunity to shine again, he did just that. When you go out and you throw for almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns, you deserve to start again. I'm not saying Trey Ford isn't their future, but when it comes next week, McLeod Bethel-Thompson needs to be their starting quarterback, in my
I
opinion.
don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of sad when Labor Day weekend is over because it's such an exciting weekend. The crowds are amazing. The fans are all into it. But at the same time, as they always say, this is when the real season begins. And there's still a lot of football to be played in the CFL as we send it back to Sports Center.
All right, New on SC. Let's hear now from McLeod Bethel Thompson with Farhan Lalji.
I know you're going to want to talk about the team, but I've got to ask you about your performance. 486 yards, a career high. How'd you feel out there today?
I honestly didn't know it was that high until someone told me right here at the end. So it was just a good team. We wanted to focus on coming out in the third quarter, and that was a beautiful drive we had for about 10 minutes there in the third quarter that really shifted this game. And then when stuff happened in the fourth quarter, we don't flinch. So I'm just happy to be a part of this group. I love this team. We got some good people, and we got some good football players. So Labor Day is always special, and it was a good game.
They got the kick return touchdown, brought it to within one score. Second down, everyone thinks you might get conservative and try to run it and kick it, and you go deep to Tevin Jones. Take me through the confidence to execute that play.
Well, especially on the drive before that kick, I felt like we could have pushed it a little bit too. But, you know, the smart plays, the handoff, I checked it down. I felt like, I should have probably pushed it down the field a little bit. Shoot or shoot, so that's what I do. Tevin's living right, man. He's the dragon, so he's living right now. He had a beautiful route, and he just caught it and turned up. And just shout out to my teammates. It's a good squad, man. We got good people in that locker room.
One of those people is Trey Ford, who you've been very supportive of. You've been through a lot. You now get back in, you author this kind of performance. So what are your expectations about who starts going forward?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I told Trey at the beginning of this year, like, I have his back unequivocally. So it doesn't matter who plays this week. It doesn't matter who plays next week. We got two good quarterbacks, and that's fortunate to be in that situation. So I'm rooting for the best for him, and I hope he's doing the same. And, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We got to win football games, and that's what it comes down to. And I love his ability. I love to watch him play football, and I hope he loves watching me play football. So he's a great kid, and it doesn't matter.
Congrats. Enjoy it.
Thank you. I love you, Aziza. Happy Labor Day.
Now look at Week 14 in the CFL with odds powered by FanDuel. The Lions are underdogs as they travel back east to visit the Owls on Friday night. Montreal is off a bye week and 18-1 dating back to last September. Then it's a triple header on Saturday, starting with the Red Blacks at home to the Argos. The Bombers slight favorites in the Banjo Bowl, and the week wraps up with the rematch of the Battle of Alberta.